This is Legends and Libations.
Sipping through history.
Let the journey begin.
Welcome back to Legends and Libations.
Where we're getting drunk off history.
I'm your host, Matthew.
And I'm Jesse.
And we want to say some quick shout outs for those of you who have supported the show on our store.
Yes. You guys have been fantastic. We've got a few t-shirts out there.
Some rocks glasses.
Yeah.
I've got one of the hats right here. No one else has bought a hat yet, but I'm a big fan of the hat. Yeah,
it's there. And there's stickers, and there's a few people that got those. And
we just put koozies on there.
So
I've got some koozies coming in the mail, so we'll be able to have them soon.
Yeah, keep your beer cold in these hot months.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you were doing awful this summer. You were so sick.
I was like the sickest I've ever been.
I was worried about you.
Me too.
Today, I really was thinking about you, and I created a drink. Well, I didn't create it. I found it on the internet.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. Let's be honest. I didn't create this.
What is this drink called?
It is called the Corpse Reviver.
Oh, wow. That's right up my alley.
Yeah. I was like, what's going to uplift Matthew?
Bring me back from the dead.
Yeah.
What is it?
But it's complicated.
As it would be.
Yeah. It's the rituals that went into the Sorcerer's Stone in many episodes ago. That is this situation. The ritual to creating this is messy. So you are drinking something martini-like with 1 ounce of gin.
Our old friend Bombay Sapphire.
Oh, yes. We
from Atlantis.
Yeah. 1 ounce of dry vermouth, which is not great alone, but we're glad it's here. It's going to add 1 ounce of triple sec, which
a little sweeter.
Yeah, it touches on it. I've only ever used it for margaritas before this point. And fresh lemon juice.
I love lemon juice.
If you notice, there's even seeds in there. Squeeze those lemons with my fist.
That's all that working out that you've been doing. That's why your shirt's so tight.
I know. The Legends and Libation shirt, I have to get a large now because the medium was like so tight. Yeah. I was just like, oh my God.
You got to start ordering large shirts, dude.
I was trying to keep, it's just not working.
I understand.
Yeah.
I did that for a while too. What's in this other bottle over here?
Well, and it doesn't stop there. So before you pour that concoction in there, you shake it and you do a absinthe wash to the glass.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, absinthe. It's actually usually what I do with martinis. I'll do a dry vermouth wash.
Okay.
But you do an absinthe wash, so you just swirl it around and pour it out. We will be making them on camera, but this is a weird drink. So
this sounds pretty psychedelic too.
To the Corpse Reviver.
All right, Corpse Reviver.
Be healed, my friend.
Cheers. Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It actually doesn't taste very strong at all.
Yeah. That's sneaky.
That's dangerous.
All alcohol. So, and I do add a lemon twist on top.
If you think about it, it's kind of like a greatest hits of like a lot of the drinks that we've done. Because if you're bringing back the triple sec, which we had in the margaritas, I think for El Dorado.
El Dorado was such an adventure.
Bringing back absinthe, we had for Sir Orfeo, and we had the Bombay Sapphire for the Atlantis. So
yeah. And then I'm getting rid of scurvy with some lemon juice.
Exactly, which people had in the Antarctica episode, I think.
Yeah, they kept on getting scurvy.
Yeah. I think they invented lemons to like get rid of scurvy. Did we talk about that?
I think we did. And isn't it weird? Life never really gave us lemons.
We gave life to lemons.
Yeah. We gave our lives lemon. We gave ourselves lemons. No.
It kind of like breaks down the analogy, I guess, a little bit when you put it like that.
This is nice. This is really relaxed. Like it's lemony. Like if you don't like lemon, don't do it. But it's great.
Who doesn't like lemons? I would have a lemon tree if I could. How long does it take to make lemons from a lemon tree?
I'm not a botanist. I don't know.
I used to try to grow avocados, but do you know how long it takes to grow an avocado?
Like 5 years?
Yeah, 5 to 10 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
I can't even keep a bonsai alive. I have a bonsai that is like one of those what are those, succulent? It's a succulent kind of, and it looks like a tree.
That's cool.
And I was dying. I put it outside and now it's okay. But
Probably needed it to be outside a little bit.
I don't have a green thumb. Outside has the green thumb.
I understand.
So this drink is really going with our fountain of youth. Like we are exploring the fountain of youth, and you guys know it by the title, but let's be honest, fountains of youth.
Most definitely.
Just like there's fountains of drinks going into this drink, this is fountains of youth.
That's a good tie-in.
Yeah.
I feel like whenever I started research for this episode that I had in my mind, Fountain of Youth, Florida, Caribbean.
I was thinking Pirates of the Caribbean.
For sure. Have you watched that? Fourth Pirates of the Caribbean?
And you're just like, oh yeah, and the Spanish come in and knock it down, like the only thing that gives eternal life.
Dude, we watched that movie. Casey and I watched it to prepare for this because I couldn't remember exactly how it went, and it was awful. I was not a big fan
it's not good.
of Pirates 4 at all.
It was rough.
Yeah, you got to have the whole gang together to have a Pirates movie.
You need Will and Elizabeth. We need their drama.
Plus the writing was just bad.
Yeah.
The Spanish guys coming in at the end and just destroy the Fountain of Youth was like way out of left field.
And Spanish wouldn't do that. They would use it. They would use it for some gold. We read it all. I was kind of expecting an El Dorado feel. I was expecting adventure, Indiana Jones, like 17th century story adventure, but
some maps, some scurvy. Yeah.
I got a
lot of myths, legends, very intangible mentionings and poems, and
then later when we broaden the meaning of Fountain of Youth, it kind of becomes more tangible, but not really something we can quite say this is the Fountain of Youth.
Right. I want to turn my hat around because I feel weird with my hat like this.
Yeah, you look like a trucker.
Yeah. I think it's the trucker edition of the hat. Right?
Yeah, it looks cool though. I like the Legends and Libations hat.
Yeah.
Go get yourself a hat. Protect yourself from the sun.
You can get this one, which is the trucker one, or the dad hat, which is a little bit more like softer looking.
Yeah, you're going to go to a baseball game, wear the dad hat. You're going to be driving for the day, get the trucker hat.
Trucker hat, yeah. I'm still working on kind of like bending the bill a little bit because I'm not one of those like flat bill
guys.
Yeah, flat bill guys, yeah.
You ever see the people wear those like flat bills and then keep the sticker on it?
Oh, yeah.
Real weird to me.
I always thought that was so they could take it back to the store if they didn't like it, but I think it's actually just to prove that it's authentic and not fake.
Like who's guessing that's fake?
I have no idea.
Who's assuming? Like, yeah, I don't necessarily assume things that are fake. So when I was in Mexico, I went to a store and I needed some joggers. It was colder than I thought, and it was like, okay, this
was cold in Mexico.
It was colder than I thought it would be at times, not during the day, but during the night. So I saw some joggers that were Pumbaa. I don't know, Puma, whatever.
Puma.
Yeah.
Pumbaa is from Lion King.
I was like, oh, cool. They were like $7 or
Pumbaa didn't wear joggers.
He didn't do that.
No.
But then I found out like everything there was just actually fake. They just put it on there.
Oh, exactly.
I was like, oh, that's why it was so cheap.
If I'm going to make a fake name brand hat, I'm going to go the extra mile to put the fake name brand sticker on the fake hat.
Yeah.
So I guess my homework.
But I wasn't like really wounded by that because I just wanted it because it was cold. Yeah. Anyways.
So do you want to talk about the Fountain of Youth?
Yeah. I guess that's why we're here.
Or one of the Fountains of Youth?
We're here for the Fountain of Youth.
Okay.
So where is this thing first mentioned? Where do we first get it from?
It kind of like originates all over different parts of the world, but it seems to kind of pop up around 300 BC in a few places. Yeah. And one of the most prominent sources that we have is the famous Greek historian Herodotus.
He gives us like half of our information, guys. Like half of our information comes from this dude.
I like Herodotus a lot.
Yeah, he's great. He's like our connection with the past.
Apparently he like maybe embellishes his stories somewhat. But
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, exactly. Every story needs some good like narrative flair added to it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the modern world, right? Like the little fish story.
That's what we're doing here anyway.
Fish story. Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then as they get told over time, they get like a little bit more exaggerated, and then you have a legend.
Then you have an absolute legend.
But I think that the Fountain of Youth and the idea of the Fountain of Youth was something that was in mythology and folklore. It's not very much of a reach to think that there might be a fountain or a spring that would grant eternal life.
Yeah.
A lot of the stories originate from there being a water source that flows from the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
And that they would claim that this Fountain of Youth flowed from the waters that were the river of life that ran through the Garden of Eden. and then supposedly like became the headwaters for like these various rivers and sources all over the world. And that's where a lot of these myths come from. Yeah. And one of the places that they had one of these myths was in this land it's called the Macrobians that Herodotus writes about in about 300 BC. And it's somewhere in Africa, like around like the Ethiopian Somalia region.
Is that where the Ark of the Covenant was?
Yes. I see these like dots connected in these similarities for these myths that we cover, and they do seem to have a lot in common sometimes, and you'll see more of that throughout this episode for sure. But, okay, I'm going to mispronounce this name, but, okay, so Herodotus is writing about this guy who went to visit the Macrobians, and I'm just going to read you what he wrote, or in a translation of what he wrote. It says, the Iciopathgi then turned their question to the king concerning the term of life and diet of his people, because these people were known for like living a long time. And they were told that most of them lived to be 120 years old, while even some went beyond that age. They ate a diet consisting only of boiled flesh, not human flesh, I don't think. I think it was just like boiled flesh. Yeah. And they had for their drink nothing but milk. And when the Iciopathgi showed wonder at the number of years, he led them to a fountain wherein, when they washed, they found their flesh all glossy and sleek, as if they had bathed in oil. And a scent came from their spring like that of violets. And the water was so weak, that's like their description for how buoyant things are. It said nothing would float in the spring, neither wood nor any lighter substance, but it all sank to the bottom. If the account of this fountain be true, it would be their constant use of the water from it which makes them so long-lived. And at this time, the Persians were one of like their adjacent, like hostile neighbors to the north, and they only lived, their lifespan at the most was like 80 years or so. So this 120 years was like a big jump for them.
That's a whole nother chunk of time. It's a whole nother fourth there.
Yeah, exactly. And they attributed this 120 years to this water that came from this fountain that they bathed in. And it doesn't even say that they drank from it. It just says that they bathed in it.
Yeah. And that's what I actually like. Many of the fountains, it seems the bathing was more necessary than the drinking.
Than the drinking, yeah. Which is interesting, considering like the elixir of life that we talked about in the Sorcerer's Stone episode had to be drank.
Yeah. There was a very brief Indian story that I'd like heard that was not enough detail to even give you that, but the god type character would have to bathe in this water to give him immortality.
Like consistently?
Yeah, consistently.
That's interesting because it like ties you to it. In a lot of these situations, is it a perpetual like thing that you're granted from experiencing it one time, or is it something that you have to keep doing over and over again to like continue to reap the benefits of?
Yeah. So very, very like quick like add-on is like I was in Scotland. I can't remember what river it was, but there's a river that apparently grants you eternal youth, and we got to like dunk our heads in it.
Nice. And I think it's working pretty good.
Well, I feel like I need to get back. I have all these like suddenly I'm getting all this gray in my beard. I'm like, I need to get back there.
Did you have a beard when you went?
Yeah, but that beard is long gone. I've shaved that one
exactly.
off. So I think it's time for me to get another dunk in there and
see if it's like just like the what do you call that? That just for men
stuff,
and the whole river is that, and you just like stick your head into it, and then all your grays are gone. Yeah, exactly.
And all the gray is gone. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going for. I did that like maybe 10 years ago, so I think it's time to really dunk.
Did you drink it too?
Oh yeah.
What did it taste like?
Water. It was nice. It was like mineral water.
Right.
Yeah.
Like mineral water, I feel like if that has anything association to do with like spring water, then it's not my favorite taste of thing. It feels like someone like crushed up a Tums and like put it in the water. And I'm like, if you're giving me bottled water and it's like Deer Park or something like that says spring water, you can just give me the tap water instead, because I'll just pour that out and fill it up with some tap water. Not a big fan of the spring water taste.
Oh, I'm going to go in on this later, but we'll talk about spring water and mineral water and all that after we get going here.
Maybe I just have an aversion to the Fountain of Youth water. Who knows?
Yeah, I think you have an aversion to Fountain of Youth.
That must be it. Another place that the Fountain of Youth story popped up was this parable from Japan.
Oh, yeah.
And it came to the Western world because there was this guy, I feel like in the 1700s maybe, and he adapted a lot of Japanese culture and fairy tale folklore to the West, and he was like pretty much the guy that introduced it to English speaking nations. But he tells he one of the stories he collected is the Japanese woodcutter story, and it's pretty short. I can just tell it to you real quick, but it goes that there was an old couple that was like living in a remote mountain village. They pretty much like lived off by themselves, and the husband was a woodcutter. Every day at dawn, he would wake up, take his axe, go off into the forest and look for some like good trees to.
He reminds me of Peach Boy.
That's going to come up in a second too. It always starts with an old Asian couple.
Oh, yeah, always old Asian couples.
That's funny. It must be like an archetype amongst like different like segments of different races have different starting points for their stories. But yes, the old couple seems to be one that we come across.
Ours is the kid without parents.
Yes, exactly. The orphan boy. Yep. Yep. The Harry Potter, Oliver Twist sort of thing.
Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's funny. So he goes off with his axe and he just like keeps getting deeper and deeper into the forest because he wants to find that like good spruce or that Brazilian cherry or something like that.
Oh yeah, he's looking. He's like, well, let me get that good wood.
All he sees is just some bamboo, which is probably like pandas. A dime a dozen, yeah.
And pandas are eating it,
I could be wrong. I don't know.
Actually, I don't know how bamboo grows.
I don't know, but I know pandas are like one of the dumbest animals that there possibly is.
And they're also Chinese.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Something like pandas only get like 16% of the nutrients from the bamboo because they only want to eat that, but they could eat other stuff that was like better for them, but they're so stupid they only want to eat bamboo.
I know some people like that.
Exactly. The people that don't wear their seatbelts and stuff. But anyway, this guy, he wants to go out further than he's gone before and just like really get that wood that sells good at market. So he keeps going. He goes into this clearing where he's never been, and he sees a waterfall and like a pool that's flowing over the waterfall. And he looks into he bends down because he's thirsty, and he drinks some of it. And when he when the ripples clear, he looks into his reflection in the pool, and he notices that it's not someone that he recognizes looking back at him. And he like does like a little movement and sees that the guy mirrors his movement. He's like, oh, that's me from when I was younger. So he reaches up and he touches his face, and he's like, oh, my wrinkles are gone.
Wow.
This pool, this water has like brought me back to life. So all he did was like drink a little bit of it and splash it on his face. But his first thought is not, oh, I'm going to like bottle and sell this.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to like jump in or anything like that. It's, I'm going to go back and tell my wife so that we can both be young again.
Oh, that's sweet.
It is really sweet.
Yeah,
I think
sweet.
It's very, very thoughtful of him.
Hey, date idea. Let's get young again.
I can see why the story has appeal, or why the fountain has appeal in general.
Yeah.
So since it was kind of like off the beaten path, he carves little notches into the trees to mark his way back so he knows how to find the pool again. And he eventually gets back to his house, and his wife doesn't recognize him at first.
Yeah, she's like, who's that child?
Yeah, she thinks that that he's a burglar who comes to like rob them while her husband's out collecting wood. And he's like, oh, no, it's me, your husband. And he tells her something that proves to her that he is her husband, something that only she would know. And he's like, if you just follow the marks that I left on the trees, then you can reach the pool too, and then we can both be young again. While he does not lead her there.
How young does he get?
About 30 or so.
Oh, nice.
And why he does not lead her to the pool himself, I do not understand. Yeah, because it's not like they have any children or something they have to look after. But maybe he's just tired, but he just got restored to like being 30 years old.
Youthful vigor.
Yeah, exactly.
He can do it.
But for some reason, he stays at home and he lets her go off by herself to follow the marks on the trees. So she goes off to try to find the pool herself, and she doesn't come back for a long time. He starts to worry about her, and night falls.
I would be like,
there's an old lady wandering around the woods. Maybe she's got like dementia or something.
She needs the fountain of youth.
Yes. So he goes after her, and he follows the marks that he left before, and he reaches the pool, and there's no one there. But after a minute or two of searching, he hears what sounds like a baby crying over in like the reeds or in the bushes, and he goes over to find the source of the crying, and he looks over, and he sees this baby girl. And she has like this like look of regret on her face. And what happened was that she jumped in the pool after like drinking it and splashing it, she got a little carried away and she just like
She was
jumped
like,
in it all
"Cool
together.
day,"
Exactly.
and jumped in.
Yes. So the moral of the story is that you can have too much of a good thing or overindulge.
Yeah, like it becomes that Benjamin Button problem there. Like,
And
well, I guess
like some of the accounts for kids that I read of this story is that like he took her in and like raised her or whatever because he still loved her and stuff like that. And I don't know if she like regained her consciousness like as a baby of like what happened. If she had this look of regret, maybe she like did recognize a little bit of what was going on. Yeah. But it's kind of problematic too at the same time. It's like
he's 30 years old.
By the time that she's old or like by the time that she's like an adult, he's going to be old again.
He's going to be like 50 when she's 20.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's problematic.
So I'm not sure. But I mean, it is sweet that he would like take care of her. Is an account that I read said that he thought for a second about jumping in the pool too to like join her and like being an infant, but they would just die if that happened.
Yeah, could you imagine two babies just
just laying there in like the bushes?
That's the beginning of a Greek epic for sure. Yeah.
They'd probably die.
Yeah, likely in real life, but in a Greek epic,
they're gonna get found by a wolf or something like that. Yeah.
Or they get raised by wolves.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. That would be unfortunate.
It would be.
Would you do it? Like if we did that right now, we'd probably go about half our age. So we're in our teenage years. Then.
Would be like 17 or so. That would be cool. Yeah, definitely. But like, do you know the rules of the pool when you first meet it? Because I feel like the guy didn't know necessarily. He was just his priority just shifted to telling her, but then her priority became drinking or like just imbibing as much as possible.
Yeah. He was like splash, splash, drink, drink. She was like splash,
cannonball
going in. Luckily, she was shot back up onto land because she was a baby.
Right. Like, did she
crawl out first?
I don't know. Like, would she just like devolve into like a single cell organism or not, or like a zygote? Would she just like go down to an egg and a sperm at some point?
Wow.
I have no idea. It's a
how
fairy
far
tale.
back does it go?
This doesn't make any sense.
But that would have been an experience.
So while we're having like Little Red Riding Hood and stuff, then the Japanese kids are getting the woodcutter baby story.
Baby and Peach Boy.
And the Peach Boy. Yeah, exactly.
Peach Boy is cool though.
Speaking of the Peach Boy, so there was this other cool legend that comes from China, and they had their own like fountain of youth, but it wasn't just a fountain. It was actually a floating mountain.
That's not quite the same.
It rhymes with mountain. I mean, it rhymes with fountain. Okay, so the fountain was actually on this floating mountain, which was like a
castle in the sky.
Yes, castle in the sky sort of thing. And it was one of those situations where like mortals can't reach the floating mountain unless they just like happen upon it. But it was really a dwelling place for these 8 immortals that lived there. And
interesting.
It was actually one of 5 of these so-called fairy mountains. And they were in the waters supposedly where the Yellow Sea meets the Bohai Sea off the coast of China. And these 8 immortals lived in palaces made of gold and silver, and they ate fruits that could heal any sickness, and they bestowed eternal life.
That's convenient.
Yeah, when it does both of them.
It's convenient.
And it says everything was white on these mountains, which that doesn't make much sense at all. Like, was everything made out of marble? But it just said things were gold and silver. But the animals were white, and
what does that like kind of conclude? Is it like,
I don't know.
Is it like everything was like couldn't get mud on it?
Right. It says that there was no agony or winter, and that bowls of rice and glasses of wine would replenish themselves.
Why does it have to be so Chinese?
I don't know. I'm like, give me that glass of wine, but you can keep some of your bowls of rice because I'm just going to get full a little bit.
Rice always makes.
Do I keep getting full or what? Okay, so there were 5 islands at first, and but the islands kind of like moved with the tides a little bit, I guess, because they were suspended over the ocean and the tides have something to do with them.
This is really cool.
I'm not really sure about the logistics of it, but since they were floating and they moved around, that this was kind of a problem for the immortals. They didn't like how they were kind of hard to find or how to navigate from mountain to mountain. So they got this giant to hold up the mountains. Oh, that's how they got suspended in the air. They were floating on the ocean. The giant holds up the mountains, and then they become floating islands.
I see.
Okay. The giant's name was Io, AO.
Ayo.
And
Ayo.
for some reason, the store the account that AO, I like that. For some reason, the account that I read said that AO got distracted by another giant at some point.
Happens to everyone.
And so 2 of the mountains, they fell into the ocean.
Oh no.
So they're gone. So just count those out.
Bad at his job.
Yeah. I don't know, like if he got distracted because it was like an attractive female giant.
Or if they were fighting.
Yeah. It's kind of like scant on the details of that.
What do you think? If you had to
I kind of think that it was like an attractive female giant and she was just like, hey, what's up? And he was just like
whoa. Oh, shoot.
That's funny. I hope it wasn't that one from Iceland because wolf.
He's setting himself up for tragedy.
Yeah, exactly. What episode was that? Iceland.
I think so. Was it Christmas?
Oh yes, Christmas episode. Save that one for Christmas time. So this became such a ingrained in like real life in China. I think that people believed in this, that the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang, from 210 to 259 BC, he was China's first emperor. He sent ships carrying 3,000 boys and girls to find the island, but they never returned. Why he sent boys and girls, probably unsupervised, to find the island, and why they were already young. So like, what was the point in sending them?
They probably just went to Japan.
Yes. Okay. That's actually the next story, because this other guy who was a Chinese alchemist and explorer from the same century, his name was Zhu Fu. He was sent to find the island, but instead he found Japan. And he just declared Mount Fuji to be Mount Penglai, which is the supposedly fairy mountain.
So he sends these kids, like children.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
I don't know what.
Like, I feel like that's what we would do with the Mars mission now, though.
You're right.
We would send a whole bunch of children so that they could like create a life there.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it takes to get to Mars, though. I feel like it's not years. They were talking the other day about not looking for volunteers, but hypothetically looking for volunteers to go to Alpha Centauri, which is like the nearest star to us. That's not the sun.
That is a lot longer.
I think it would take 400 years or so. Maybe.
Like, who has time for that?
I'm not really sure. Maybe it was 40 years. I don't know.
I
don't know.
But like, how? I mean, I don't know how long it takes to get to Mars.
Have you seen that Passenger movie with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence, where they're going to a planet or like another solar system, and they're in suspended like hibernation sleep or whatever?
Would that work?
I don't know if we can do that or not.
Yeah, maybe that's above. Maybe that's like sci-fi still. Maybe in time.
I feel like we're close though. I don't know. Like if you slow your heart rate down a lot, you can probably still be alive. If you're just like getting like intravenous like nutrients and oxygen and stuff like that, you could probably slow it down. But I don't know if that means
gravity. So no
right.
wrinkles.
Well, I don't know if it means that you wouldn't like age, like your cells and stuff would
regenerate,
right, or at least like slow down. I don't know. It's something
if there's
interesting to think about.
Scientists that's like
could explain this to us.
We could. That'd be kind of cool thing.
Put it in the comments. We like to talk about this kind of sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Would you volunteer for that sort of thing?
Oof, no. I love being on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in love with grass, man. Like that doesn't sound. I didn't mean it like a pothead. I just mean I love grass. I like trees. I like the world around me. I like.
If it's Mars, they're gonna want to like terraform it before, which that means they're gonna want to like nuke it a bunch and like hope that something grows after we nuke it, which doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, well, we'll get into terraforming on another episode.
This is one of those like Elon Musk things where he thinks that because he's an expert at one thing, at being a rich person, that he thinks he's an expert at everything. But okay, so there is a real city in China that's called Penglai, but it's like more heralded as the jumping off point that the 8 immortals left from the mainland to go to the real mountain that's out in the sea.
Yeah.
And I think that they're just kind of like capitalizing on like the tourist aspect of it.
They're like, oh yeah,
that's us. But they actually like renamed themselves that like pretty recently. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
so,
that's
like,
kind of cool.
Adapting to their heritage.
That seems pretty cool. Actually.
And I was thinking about ways that this myth of the floating island could actually be something that people witnessed and like how it got started. Have you heard of that thing called Fata Morgana?
Like where like the Like it looks like a boat is floating
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the sky,
uh-huh.
but it's actually just
Yeah, it's like an
like,
optical illusion.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so there's this thing called Fata Morgana. It only happens in like certain atmospheric conditions.
That for those who don't know what that is, it's like when a boat is like way out there and it looks like it's on the sky and it's actually just on the water.
Yeah, it's just some kind of weird bending of different temperature air causes it to look like it's floating above the actual ocean.
That's so cool.
And I wanted to like look for more crazy instances of this. So I did find a few accounts from China and then another one from the UK where people thought that they saw like entire cities that were kind of floating in the sky. There were pictures of them. They kind of just like looked like silhouettes, or they could be like reflections or something. But it was pretty cool to think about. Like what if the possibility of maybe it was like another realm that was like opening up in the sky. It was only accessible under certain conditions.
Yeah. You know, like whenever he does that flip in the third Pirates of the Caribbean. Like
I think about that a lot where it's like you have to get lost before you can find it. Yeah, that's really cool. Are you making us another drink over there, Jesse?
Yeah, you ready for another one?
Yeah, I'm ready for another one, dude. That first one was really good.
Yeah.
Should I keep my lemon peel or my lemon twist?
Nah, I've got any ones.
Okay.
Yeah, super.
I really want to see one of those Fata Morgana things. I don't know how rare they are. They're not as rare as ball lightning.
Ball lightning? What's ball lightning?
It's like lightning that like looks like a ball but behaves very erratically. I don't think there's actual any photos or like videos of it, but it's one of those like hypothetical, witnessed only occasionally things. Did you see the pictures that the astronauts took recently? There's this like atmospheric phenomenon called a red sprite that happens. It's like these like red light that shoots up from some point during a storm, I think, but the astronauts on the International Space Station took pictures from above it, and it just like looks like this like tower of like red lightning that's like shooting up into the sky. It was really like breathtaking to look at, but it's one of those things that's like rarely ever seen with someone with a camera. Like it's only reported by pilots occasionally and like other people that are flying.
There you go, good sir.
That last part didn't make any sense, but
we weren't worried about it.
Yeah. While we're talking about weird atmospheric phenomena, I've got another one for you.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this thing called St. Elmo's Fire?
Like I know it was a movie.
Oh, really? What's the movie about?
I don't know. I just know it was a movie.
Okay. Okay. Another thing that happens to planes and it could happen to ships too, I think. It's called St. Elmo's Fire, where it looks like the points on the front of the ship and the mast and like the top of the sails, that they glow because of the electrostatic like energy that's in the air before a storm makes them light up. I don't know why it's called St. Elmo's Fire, but it's like another weird, rare thing that happens.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
I would like to see that in person too.
Yeah, that would be cool. That's something like way outside of the normal things I feel like I see every day.
I heard that might happen on your umbrella too. If you're carrying an umbrella
that's on
in a storm, that it might on the point of it, because it's metal.
Yeah,
it might show up there too, but I don't know.
How is that one?
It looks good. I'm about to test it out.
You guys should come here and have some drinks with us.
Yes, I think this is one of our better drinks, to be honest.
Yeah,
I really don't think any of our drinks have been bad, but they kind of run the spectrum from ones that I would like to consume to ones that I'm just consuming for the show.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. We have some that were like real regular.
Yeah. I want to put like the rankings on our website on the libationspodcast.com.
Yeah, if you guys want to check out our website, it's live. It's been live for a little while, but it's a good place to get
merchandise and just follow what we're up to.
Yeah. You want to get those ice crystals on top.
That's what those are. Your own little mini icebergs.
Yeah. It's nice. It looks good.
I wonder why they call it the Corpse Reviver.
Dude, because
it's got to have something to do with that absinthe.
Oh, I'm sure. Hey, whoever says something stupid first has to take a shot.
I already said something stupid. So does that mean I should take the shot?
Yeah, you take the shot. What'd you say?
I said that other people flying and didn't think that airplanes were the only way that people fly. So
yeah, good.
I'm just kind of looking for an excuse to take the shot because I loved the absinthe that we had before.
Get it down. Yeah. How was it?
Oh, it's as good as I remember it. Like I could breathe fire. I'll make my own St. Elmo's Fire.
So,
dude, I feel like I talked a lot. I feel like you should tell me a story.
yeah. So one of the things that like I found like the Fountain of Youth was like there's only so many stories, and what it does isn't always called the Fountain of Youth.
Okay.
Sometimes I think it's like a fountain of healing.
Yeah, because we found out that one of them extended the life to like 120 years, and then some of them grant immortal life, and then some of them reverse your aging back down to being young again.
Yeah. There's a vagary to what it
It's a
actually
spectrum.
does. Yeah. The spectrum of the Fountain of Youth.
Yes.
And so, honestly, actually, something that a lot of people should know, a core text of Western society, the Bible, right?
Most definitely.
The Gospel of John mentions 2 pools, springs, in which heal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's super.
I've heard of at least one of them before.
Yeah, there's one that is like
The
less,
mud one with the mud in the eyes.
So yeah, that's the pool of Siloam or Siloam, I think it is. That one is a bit more simple. That one is connected to a spring. It was built by King Hezekiah in the 8th century.
Oh,
so it's
my
quite
boy
old.
Hezekiah.
Yeah, like you remember him from like that Old Testament time, right?
What's the other king with the Nebuchadnezzar?
Nebuchadnezzar.
Yeah.
That turns into a weird goblin goat thing that lives out in the woods after some time.
Oh, really? I don't know about that part.
Yeah, Daniel, I think that's in.
That's cool. Doesn't Daniel have some like extra chapters though? In like
in the Catholic Bible, there's a couple.
There's a
extra
dragon.
books. Yeah, but that's not. I think that's part of the like.
Oh, really?
Hebrew text. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So that pool, he made it like it was from like a Guyon Spring.
This is the Siloam,
which is also
one?
it's also called the Virgin Spring. Which that Virgin thing is going to be connected to a lot of fountains of youth. Yeah. You just be attentive to that. That's the first time like Hezekiah built it, and it comes from the Virgin Spring.
Okay.
So in translation.
Mary the Virgin, or just
later.
like Virgin in general.
Just Virgin. There's no Mary yet. There's no
Mary. So it was known as this before Mary.
Yeah, this is the spring that he like hijacked and moved into the city.
Okay.
Yeah, it was called the Virgin Spring. So, and the Babylonians about in 600 BC destroyed it, and then it was rebuilt by Nehemiah.
Okay.
Who rebuilt the walls of Jerusalem, and along with that built that. It was then made bigger by Harold the Great, one of the
Harold.
Old Harold, making things great. He made it bigger.
Not Herod, Harold.
It's Herod, sorry.
It's Herod. It actually is Herod.
It's Herod, sorry, Harold.
Okay. Herod should just be Harold, because then his name would make a lot more sense, I think, because I don't know. He needs to rehabilitate his image because it's not very good right now. He's trying to kill babies and stuff, so it's about as bad as it could be.
He made it big enough
where you should take the L, Harold, and become Harold.
Become Harold. Take the L.
There we go.
Can't take the loss. And he essentially almost kind of made it a Roman bath, admittedly, in Jerusalem. He had a women's side and a men's side. And people would go there to bathe, definitely if they had infirmaries, but it wasn't as well known for that. It was actually used on the Feast of Tabernacle. There was a ritual that they would do where the priest would take golden vessels, fill it with water, and on the he would go to the altar, and the crowds would be singing like the pilgrimage psalms while he was doing it, and like shout for joy and be like pretty excited. And he would pour it out on the western side of the altar, while they would pour out wine on the eastern side of the altar.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but there's a very vague knowledge of why they did that.
One of the things that I read, I think it was, it might have gone back to the headwaters of the Garden of Eden, but don't quote me on that. But it said that you said the water and you said the wine.
Yeah.
Okay, and then keep those two things in mind. And then I think milk and honey were another 4 things that made up like the 4 rivers that came from the Garden of Eden.
Okay.
And then 2 of those rivers were the Tigris and the Euphrates, but I'm not sure if the other 2 rivers correspond to rivers that exist today or not. But I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting because they very much could be.
Because milk and honey also have a lot of symbolic importance in the Bible and just in various stories.
And use. And a lot of use.
Rivers flowing of milk and honey for when Joshua and
crossing the Jordan. Yeah.
They went to go survey the land
of Israel.
Exactly. Anyway,
but this is the same land in which Jesus was or the same pool in which Jesus a few moments, like while this feast was happening, the Feast of Tabernacles, which is a interesting feast in general. It's kind of like holy camping.
Like Bernie Man.
But it like there's a blind guy who's like, Son of David, have pity on me, a sinner. And Jesus goes to him and he's like ready to help him. And the guy's blind, been blind from birth.
How did he find this place?
Yeah, well, probably friends.
Has some friends or something like that. Yeah,
maybe family.
Like the man that got lowered down through the rooftop. His bros brought him.
Yeah, but he was in a crowd and he wasn't being paid attention to. But Jesus saw him, and to heal him, he spit in the mud, played with some dirt, and stuck it in his eyes.
I would think that he was just like trolling me,
and then was like, "Now go bathe in this pool." The pool means to be sent. Okay. Sent.
It's like, go just wash it off.
Yeah, go wash it off.
This mud, just don't mind the mud that I just stuck in your eyes, but you should go wash that out.
Go wash that out now.
Yeah.
And then he could see.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But the pool itself seems like it could have been any pool. I don't know. Like the pool there doesn't.
It probably could have been. Yeah. The pool's significance is not as important to the story as like Jesus being the one that did it.
Yeah. That one later by the Romans was turned into, that pool particularly was turned into a shrine for the 4 nymphs.
By the Romans?
Yeah. And then it, that was built by Hadrian, who also created Hadrian's Wall.
Hadrian's Wall.
Yeah.
I like in the Hercules Disney cartoon when he meets Philatides that he's trying to like grab the nymphs in the forest. And he says, nymphs can't keep their hands off me. That was a bad Danny DeVito. But I do love that. I think he's coming back for the live action Hercules. Good. So like
there's a live action.
There's going to be a live action Hercules, and Danny DeVito is going to be Phil.
So excited.
Yeah. He pretty much, they wouldn't even have to do any special effects for him. Yeah. Basically, he just already looks like him. Yeah. He could borrow what's his name? James McAvoy's costume from Chronicles of Narnia when he's like the fawn or whatever, and he's like, there we go, like half the costume already stretch it out a little bit,
grow a little Billy Goat beard.
Philatides. His name is kind of like, never mind, go ahead.
But that place did end up disappearing in about the 5th century. It was rediscovered in 2004 on land that was owned by an Orthodox church, and it was it was called the King's Garden, and they found it underneath there.
That's cool.
So that one didn't have so much, but there's the other pool.
In Jerusalem.
Yeah, the pool of Bethesda. Yeah, Bethesda.
It always blows my mind how in these archaeological places where there's like things built on top of things.
I don't know how that happens.
Me neither.
I don't get... It's the same in London. It's the same in Rome.
It's not like, the same here is the thing. No, like you just like don't understand it.
Yeah, the comprehending that there's cities built underneath cities doesn't make sense to me.
Right. Mm-hmm. Like what would have to happen for you to just not clear it all away to begin with?
Exactly, because that's what we do. We clear away a city and build over it.
Mm-hmm. Unless was it already a great foundation already? No, we wouldn't. We'd be like, this is not up to code. So we would totally like demolish it and start over from scratch. But that just might be the American way. Yeah. Who knows?
Maybe we're just wasteful.
I heard that one time about like, you know how when you go to Europe and you're like driving around or flying in a plane in Europe, how you see these contained like towns, and then just like the town is just like picturesque off by itself in like these little like valleys that are like between the mountains. But in America, you don't see that at all.
No, yeah.
It's because in Europe, when there were mountains, they like built the roads around the mountains and stuff. But in America, we said, we're going through those mountains, and we just went straight through the mountains. Yes. And we spread out more. Yeah. So everything like stayed more picturesque and like old world in Europe. It looks a lot nicer, I think.
It really did. It looks nice. Mm-hmm. And we didn't do very good.
We didn't do that. No, unfortunately. We had to get rid of those Native American burial grounds. And I'm pretty sure that we're on one right now.
Anyways. This pool of Bethesda, I cannot talk. This pool particularly, they have, already found, but this was called the Sheep Gate.
I've heard of that. That's where they let the sheep out and they put all their sins on the sheep. Is it the scapegoat? That's where the phrase scapegoat comes from.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. There was a great multitude of sick people, blind people, lame people, paralyzed, waiting for the water to move. For an angel went down at a certain time into the pool and stirred up the water. Then whoever stepped in first after the stirring of the water was made well of whatever disease he had.
Was there like an orderly line?
No.
Or were people just like paralyzed people and disabled people and blind people and lame people were just like shoving each other out of the way to be the first one at the pool? Because that would be really funny. I feel like we should put that on some pay-per-view.
Like only the strong ones. Like it's like the paralyzed. They can just like crawl there. It's like
You're just like getting down. You're like ready for it, and then some other guy with. We're gonna have
just
to
picks you up.
Yeah,
and
he just like throws you. Yeah, like I'm gonna get healed. But it's like people with like no legs and like stuff like that.
Yeah, how's
like,
this okay?
Yeah, I don't know.
But there was a certain man that was there that had an infirmity for 38 years.
That's a long time. I'm surprised he lived that long.
Yeah. When Jesus saw him lying there, he knew that he already had been in that condition a long time. He said to him, "Do you want to be made well?" The sick man answered him, "Sir,
Of course.
of course. Yes."
No shit.
he's like, "But I can't get to the water." Like everyone gets sick because
It's like a pandemonium.
Yeah. Like the guy just, some strong man who's he has like a headache, but he can still lift people up. He's like, "I'm going to get in there first," and he gets his headache cleaned. But
he's like a cyclops or something.
And then Jesus just said,
I'm nearsighted.
"I want to be normal." Yeah, it's just like ridiculous.
Yeah,
like the rules to that, but
because only the first person got it.
Yeah,
I heard that the angel came down 4 times a day.
Yeah.
So you got 4 chances every day to be the first one in the pool.
Allegedly, angels also the archangel Saint Raphael that walked with Tobit in the book of Tobit.
I don't know what that is.
He's one of the 7. It's one of the biblical books of the Catholic Bible.
Apocryphal stuff.
Yeah, it's from not the pseudo Epigrapha. It's from the I just went blank.
It's from the extra books.
It went from the Catholic books. It's from the Catholic books. But
they get all those exciting books where like the interesting stuff happens.
That's why we keep them.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're like, let's keep the cool books. I remember being warned not to read them when I was Protestant, and then I read them and I was like, I'm actually going to become Catholic.
I bet
these are way more fun.
I bet they were like, no.
They're so good. But the
I'll
book
have
of
to read them
Tobit
one
is
day.
like,
I never even heard of this one.
I translated it from the Latin Vulgate a couple of years ago. It's a cool work. Just in general, I really like it. But he's associated, Raphael, Saint Raphael, the Archangel Raphael, is associated with healing.
Okay.
And that's why he was part of.
He was the one stirring the pool.
Yeah, that allegedly he's the one who would stir the pool by like pious legend.
Mm-hmm.
But
I like that. It makes a little competition out of it. We need to gamify things in the West to like make us motivated to actually do it
first.
Yeah, exactly.
Saint Raphael is not from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as much as I thought that when I first read it. They totally did find actually where this is. So according to Murphy O'Connor, Jerome Murphy O'Connor, which is such a
That sounds very official.
In the first 10th century BC, these like pools came from a natural cave that was from the east. And both were actually used in religious and medical like functions, even for the Romans. But before Jerusalem like was built that big, they were dedicated to the god Fortuna, fortune, and some healing Roman god.
So they had a long history of being associated with healing.
But they weren't in Jerusalem proper at the time because Jerusalem was smaller.
Okay.
And so the Jews were okay with the Romans having pagan temples outside of
the
Jerusalem.
city. Yeah.
But once Jerusalem got big enough, they forced them to change it.
I can see that.
We don't know if that's true. That's just like what
might be some revisionist history.
Yeah. That's what O'Connor said. I don't know if O'Connor's trustworthy, but nonetheless, it is true that a Roman garrison was built there years before. So it could be. Herod Agrippa expanded the city walls. He's the one who kind of like made it bigger. After the destruction of Jerusalem, that it was
which time?
70.
Okay.
70 AD.
70.
The one by the Romans.
Okay. Justinian?
Titus.
Okay.
Yep. It later was a church was built there on that spot. That was a Byzantine style church. That was the Church of the Sheep. That's what it was called. Or
does it have to do with the sheep gate?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Or the pool of the probatic, which is just like the person who couldn't really walk well.
Sounds like probation.
Yeah. But and it was initially dedicated to the healing of those who were paralyzed. That's what the church was.
So it's so known for that it got dedicated to those people specifically.
Yeah, yeah. But by the 6th century, or so 530, by 530, it was associated with the birthplace of the Virgin Mary.
Oh, really? I've never heard of the birthplace of the Virgin Mary before.
This is like, people would say this is where it was actually called the Church of My Lady Mary. That was like the new name.
The OG.
Yeah. And it's really weird because it also because it's always been associated with healing. So even in this time, it's associated with healing, but it takes that old pagan Roman feel,
right,
and the kind of vague Jewish thing that we find, and it's like Our Lady who will heal you.
That's cool.
So it gets really associated by 5th, 6th century. It is totally associated with that.
Are they doubling down on the healing sort of aspect?
Yeah.
Because it's an actual thing, or because they just want to control the narrative and put their name on it?
Yeah, that's.
It seems like it might have some actual legs to it, though.
I mean,
it has this much of a reputation.
Yeah, and it's called. They literally. That goes on for 1,000 years. It was taken over. That area was taken over by the Persians in 614, and the
Persians.
The Persians, they took over it. Those guys. They were like, you guys can't be Christian. But
were the Persians Muslims, or were the Persians I'm dumb when it comes to this sort of thing?
I'm not going to speak with authority on this, but I'm pretty sure they were Eastern Christians, and then they became Muslims
so they're kind of wishy-washy. It sounds like they were on the borderlands between.
Yeah, it depends on who took them over.
Okay.
But
because they were such a big deal.
They were huge.
Because they were talking about them in the Herodotus thing that we were talking about, and they're the villains in the Battle of Thermopylae with the 300 as well as the Persians. So Persian is modern day Iraq, and I didn't always know that. So it seemed like they would kind of be like the Muslims.
They were also before they were Muslim, they were Christian and Buddhist.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Christian, Buddhist, and some other weird little forms of paganism.
Interesting.
Allah used to be a moon god from one of those associated religions.
Oh, back to the moon. There we go.
Always. Everything's connected, guys.
Yes.
Welcome.
It's not even on purpose.
So, and it remained in their control, the Persian control, until the siege of Jerusalem, the Crusades, the First Crusade. The First Crusade was really about keeping safe passage for pilgrims. It's actually probably the most I think it makes sense. It was almost like they were.
It was the heart of the actual meaning of crusade.
Yeah. Hey,
and they kind of had deviated from that as time went on.
Oh yeah, definitely deviated. But the First Crusade seemed like
something about mercenaries later on, and
it seemed just at first.
Yes, it did seem just at first. It had humble beginnings,
and then revolutionary ends.
Yes.
Their objective was to recover the city of Jerusalem and the Church of the Holy Sepulchre from Islamic control. It took a 5-week siege, and on the 7th of June, 1099, they were able to take over with the help of a lot of English soldiers. Actually, 1099.
This sounds like it might overlap with the Spear of Destiny things, because a lot of those origin stories happened during this time too.
Yeah, absolutely. The Crusaders, once they conquered it, built a much smaller church there, but then between and a ditch between the two pools just to keep them alive. But then they later made a bigger church and a grotto in that site, and they called the and again, thinking of Mary, Mother of Jesus.
I don't know what a grotto is. It makes me think of Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, it's like a
pool in a cave or something.
Yeah, it's it's kind of like that. It's like a cave, but then sometimes there's pools in it. But it's like a cave indention in a mountain. But it's not a full cave. It's just you could hide under it.
All right.
Yeah.
The outline of a cave.
Yeah. It's about to be a cave, but it didn't go deep enough.
Maybe in a million years it might be a cave.
It's a small cave.
It's a proto cave.
Yeah, prototype of a cave. They built a church called St. Anne's, which was the mother of Mary. And so, they were they hands down went, this is the birthplace of Mary. They like doubled down on it.
Okay. I'm
And
learning a lot here about Mary's side of the story that I never knew before.
oh, you're gonna get more from Fountains of Youth. I think Mary is more than associated. But whenever Jerusalem was lost by Saldaean in 1187,
This is Saladin.
Saladin, yep.
Okay, he was one of the big. Was he Persian?
Yeah.
Or okay,
he was
Muslim.
He was Muslim.
Okay, he's one of the big guys in their history, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he took the church and turned it into an Islamic law school until it fell into ruins.
Okay. Do you ever play a computer game called Age of Empires?
I've seen commercials for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was a really big thing in like 1997, 1999, something like that. And you had these medieval crusades, and you were able to like. It was a computer game, and you can like control armies and stuff like that, and you built castles, and you farmed the land. Your guys collected food, and they went and cut wood. They mined gold and they mined stone, and you just like expanded your land. But Saladin was one of the campaigns that you could play, and you could like go along with his story and be his army and stuff like that. Cool. But Joan of Arc was one. And Frederick Barbarossa was another one. Like it just kind of like
a lot of the people were hitting up. Yeah,
wow, exactly. Cool. So it was probably my favorite computer game that I ever played before.
Maybe they'll remake it.
They did like a HD remaster cool. Pretty soon. But
that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, it would be. Fun. I'd have to show it to you sometime. I don't have it, but like it'd be nice to get back into it. Yeah. I think it probably has a pretty big like multiplayer thing. I don't know, but
we could be friends on
the internet. Exactly.
Too. Not just in real life, but on the internet. Anyways, yeah. So that like. That biblical, I mean, we're talking both, I think, were made in the 8th and the 6th century BC. And then they go up all the way up to the Crusades. And then it doesn't, like, even now, it's still there. Like, they found it. They found the 5 porches that are mentioned in the Bible and everything, but it just isn't used as anything, really.
Really?
It's just old ruins.
That's surprising.
Yeah. Well.
Then you go back and do, like, a renovation.
Yeah, city built on the city. Come on, guys.
Or something like that. This is like right up your alley.
That's what you guys love doing.
Exactly.
But yeah, so it's like a really interesting space there. Because they do heal people, and it's associated with healing, and it's associated with the Virgin Mary, and it's associated with, I mean...
And they've let it like fall into neglect now, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they definitely fell into neglect. Well, this one, particularly by the Islamic forces, it turned into a law school and then disappeared.
Maybe they don't want to draw attention to it if it's on a certain, if it's on Islamic land.
It's literally only like 100 yards from the Temple Mount. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it just
how contentious like the Temple Mount is. This just makes me think about how much like controversy and tension surrounds doing anything around that area, and how much history is like built up over each other. That to do anything, it must require a tremendous amount of bureaucracy and like red tape that you'd have to go through. I don't know. Or do they just like ask for forgiveness rather than permission sort of thing? And it's like, oh, well, we reopened the pool here, the healing pools.
But I don't think.
Do I need to get a permit for that?
I think they dried up.
Oh, really?
I think it's been too. Well,
it's lost its holiness because of
who knows? Who knows? There's some interesting thing about like pools drying up. But
oh, really?
Yeah, we'll get into it. Get into it. Yeah, like absolutely. So the Jerusalem one's interesting. I would give it that it's interesting.
Do you want to talk about some other person who has a big influence in like that part of the world before we move on to another story?
I don't know who you're talking about. I
am talking about the one and only greatest commander under 35. Maybe the history,
the flipping great.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God, yeah, dude.
We can't.
I can't believe I had like a dumb brain for a sec.
Oh, you should do the shot of the absinthe, but
let me make you a drink and I'll take one.
Oh, I would love to have another drink, Jesse.
Alexander the Great.
Dude, we haven't. I'm surprised that we haven't talked about Alexander the Great before.
I know. Like, he's great.
He's definitely one of the most. Not I wouldn't say enigmatic, but I would say influential figures in the Western world and maybe like the whole world for all of human history. And that's just to put it lightly, that's probably selling him short too, because if you look at a map of like Alexander's conquered territory, it looks like the Roman Empire times
how did he
times
do
2
that?
probably. I don't know how he did it. He died when he was like 33 as well.
Like he makes me feel very unsuccessful.
Yeah, exactly. I'm older than Alexander the Great, and
I haven't conquered much.
It was a different time back then. You could get away with a lot more. But
no one's gonna let me conquer anything. They get mad if I practice Taekwondo too hard.
and Alexander the Great sort of like they're like Christopher Columbus, or not Christopher Columbus. What am I trying to say?
Cortez,
the first president of America,
George Washington.
George Washington. Yes.
My God, we gotta do an episode on him one day.
Yes, that's why I knew you would know who I was talking about. George Washington. Yes, he becomes one of those like larger than life figures as time goes by, because he had so many accomplishments and there was like such a vast area of geography that was associated with his like military successes that he became part of like the mythology and the legend.
Yeah, like he's
everywhere.
Part of like almost like the gods themselves.
Mm-hmm. Almost like from Greece, Macedonia, where he originated from, all the way over to India, down to Egypt, and across all of the Middle East is the area that Alexander and his armies conquered while he was alive.
That's so crazy.
And one of the ways that he like became canonized or like he like lived through his legendary accomplishments, it was this thing called the Alexander Romance. Have you heard of this before?
I've heard of it. I don't know much about it. It's Islamic, right? Like, or it's from like the East. It's not.
It seems to be sort of like Alexander the Great is sort of like the Paul Bunyan of the Middle East, Macedonia, the Greek world. What do you call that? It starts with an H.
Hellenistic
world. Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah, of course. No, that one's mine.
That one's yours?
That one's mine.
Okay, this one's yours.
I'm making you a fresh one now.
Cheers. Yes, so he sort of has these stories about him, or this like collection of stories. It's not necessarily all written by one person, that it might be just be like a compilation of greatest hits of Alexander that becomes known as the Alexander Romance.
Here's my dumb shot.
Oh, nice. These people growing up in the Middle Ages in Europe, that you would read the Alexander...
Like the Fairy Queen.
There we go. Which part of the Fairy Queen?
Anyways.
So you would read the Alexander Romance growing up, like we would read like Huckleberry Finn and Mark Twain, and like those things. Like it was like their thing that they knew about a lot, and it was like this collection of stories of these accomplishments of Alexander the Great that were not necessarily 100% fact, things that he did, but sort of like a great narrative, of stories.
Yeah,
that were bigger than the actual truth. Yeah, exactly. And one of his mythos became so big that it bled over into Islam too, and where he was known as Dhul Qarnayn, and he may have been mentioned in the Quran, and he was known as the one with two horns. And apparently, like I watched a video that said that this two horns thing came from when he conquered Egypt, like when he made his little pass through Egypt, that he declared himself Pharaoh in Egypt, because I'm pretty sure that he like overthrew whoever was in charge then at the time, and that his symbol was like him with a ram's horns, and that you can see on some of the currency where even if it's from like his profile from his side, that he'll have the ram's horn like curling near his ear on the side of his head.
And we don't think that's like Princess Leia buns.
No, unfortunately, it's not.
Could you imagine Alexander Great with Princess Leia buns?
That probably wouldn't be far from some of the stories that I've heard about him. But in this instance, we're going to assume that they're like the ram's horns sort of thing.
Which sounds badass.
Yeah, it does. It really gives him that like demigod sort of status that like, he had. Yeah. And you can see how with power becomes that like fear of losing your power sort of thing. And you would want to extend your power for as long as possible. So the Fountain of Youth was like a thing that Alexander would want to seek after if it was real.
He reminds me a little bit of the King Arthur stories, like seeking these kind of holy relic kind of things. But so Alexander the Great is like worried to lose his power. So he's like, how does he hear about the
he's like faced with his immortality a little bit, or like his mortality. Yes. Because he had so many brushes with death and like sickness and disease. He sees so many people die, and that like, this is not far. It's not a far stretch.
How's he going to keep his world? And so how does he hear about the Fountain of Youth? Or is it just no knowledge? Is it a myth that lives in like his society?
That might be a thing that is like, it's not that.
Like it's not detailed enough to tell you that. You just know that he has it. Like that he knows about it.
I'm not sure if he was like seeking for it from the beginning or if it was something that he learned about on his conquests and he like kind of did a little bit of an audible and was like, okay, well, we're going to like find this fountain of youth thing. But he did meet up with this guy and he served as his guide for a while. And his name was
this like a Sith like
apprentice sort of thing. I think so. But this guy's name was Kadir. And in Islamic tradition, he's kind of associated with being immortal already. He's known as like the green one or like the one who comes in green or something like that. I'm not sure.
Interesting. Because I'm getting like Green Knight vibes.
You love some Green Knight. I thought about you when I read this, Jesse. I was like, this reminds me of the Sir Gawain and the Green Knight thing. I'm not sure exactly how he got the green association, but Kadir and him, I'm just going to read from you from what I've got from the search for the water of life is what this called. And in Islamic tradition, besides being called Dul Qarnayn, Alexander is called Iskender. And,
like what badass names?
He has so many names. You know that when someone's known as so many names that they're like a big deal.
Yeah, they're a big deal.
Yeah, exactly. Because you think about God and think about all like the names in like the Old Testament and New Testament and stuff like that. And I'm like, this reminds me a little bit of that. But like Alexander was like a god amongst men from.
Well, I mean, even people like Zeus had many names.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, those epithets and stuff are important to that dignity of the person.
I'm going to read to you a passage from The Search for the Water of Life about Alexander the Great. It says, Iskender then passed on and came to a country of a very cold climate where many of his men died. At last they came to another city where he was made welcome and he was pleased to stay for a while. One day a man came to him who said, O Shah, I have heard that there is a sea and there is a darkness upon it, but whoever is able to cross through this darkness will come to a spring on the other side of the water. That spring is called the water of life. And whoso drinks of this water of this spring will live forever and never die. Iskender made no reply, but resolved to try to find this spring. He asked Kadir to accompany him, and with them went a company of 4,000 young men, none of them older than 40, and he forbade anyone older than that to take part in the campaign because he knows about the youth part of it.
Yeah, of course.
And it says, now they reached the border of the great darkness. Iskender called Ilias to him and said, I have here two stones which shine a light of their own. I will take one of them and I will let you take the other. And with his help, you may find the spring in this darkness. And we will let each other know. And they entered the darkness. And I listened to another account of this. I've got a little bit more that I want to read to you, but like this land of darkness was actually a place apparently where like the sun didn't shine at all. And they had to crawl on their hands and knees because they were worried about falling off of a cliff like running into something sharp or dangerous or something like that. They didn't want to. You want to be cautious, like
if it's completely dark, you're just kind of feeling around.
Right, exactly. So that's how they were going, and a lot of them like felt these weird stones when they were crawling on their hands and knees. So they filled their pockets with the stones, and when they got out to the other side, they looked in their pockets and they were full of diamonds and like rubies and sapphires and stuff like that. So they were like wealthy, but. Wow.
Lucky
that was pretty lucky them. Yeah, exactly.
I don't usually think, I felt a rock, I'm going to put that in my pocket. But my niece does.
Right.
She sees rocks and she's like, I'm going to put that in my pocket.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can't wait for Cassian to be that age where he just like collects things in his pocket all day.
Like, here's rocks I found, Dad.
So you see here he has the stones that cast light, and I like don't understand how that works. Like, are they like radioactive or something like that? Like, who knows what the basis and reality of these stones are? But this is where they split up. Is where Kadir and Iskender or Alexander they go separate ways. And after about a week, they went to they were traveling on their hands and knees, and they stopped to camp for the night, and they prepared to share some dried fish for dinner.
That sounds like Dungeons and
Dragons.
So
so it was like fish that they had already had.
Yeah.
So they went to wash their hands in a stream, and they took the fish there to divide it between them. And when they washed their hands in the fish, and then they touched the fish with the hands that they had washed, that the fish came back to life. And
corpse reviver.
Yes, the corpse reviver.
The corpse reviver.
Here we go. Its namesake. Yeah. So they realized then, this was Kadir's party, that they had found the fountain of youth was this spring that brought the dead fish back to life. But Kadir, plot twist, does not tell Alexander about the Fountain of Youth
because he's already too powerful. That kind of guy with that power of living forever is not okay.
You're right. It's kind of like a moral tale or like a cautionary thing.
You don't let the Sith live forever. Like he's too powerful. He has too much control. You can't let him live forever.
I think you're right.
Like that kind of person's not like the people who are allowed to live forever are the people who don't.
It's sort of like the person who would be the best president is the person who would never want to be president.
Exactly.
And you don't want to like give the person eternal life who is already the leader of the known world. Because they're going to turn into a Caesar or perpetual Caesar sort of person.
Caesar.
And never give up their power.
Covered with our anchovies.
Anchovies is just like the national symbol because that's what happened from the beginning. Caesar. So Kadir, he takes this as a sign that he found the spring of life, as a sign that Alexander should not find it. And like that's their fate, is that he find it, Alexander doesn't find it.
That's a way of interpreting that.
It is interesting.
I didn't betray him. I just found it first.
Right, exactly. Finders keepers. Possession is 9/10 of the law. But it says that a weird plot twist to this is that after Kadir drank from the water, that he became invisible.
Convenient.
Exactly. So I guess he just never had to answer to Alexander after that because he was invisible and never went back to him.
Can he choose to not be invisible?
I don't know.
Because this would explain a lot of ghost sightings.
This was really hard to find information on Jesse because of the overlap. Okay, first of all, I want to talk about how hard it was to research the Fountain of Youth in general. Because
Fountain of Youth was ridiculous.
Because there was a lot of muddying of the waters of the search results with the movie that came out, the Apple movie that has John Krasinski and Natalie Portman.
Oh, yeah.
Which
Natalie always taking the scene. She's like, hey, pay attention to me.
And she was really bad in that movie, I feel like. Yeah. She had that whole like wishy-washy sort of Katniss thing from Hunger Games. Where she was like, oh, do I feel this way or do I feel that way? Or, oh, I don't like that you're taking me on this adventure, but or we're not going to be safe. And like this, I don't know. And then in the end, she likes the adventure, like.
Yeah.
Big surprise. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I do like finding the fountain.
Yeah. And John Krasinski was just like Jim from The Office the whole time, pretty much. Yeah.
That's what we want. We miss Jim from The Office.
Yeah, exactly. I do miss The Office.
Yeah.
It has great rewatch value. So we have Kadir and he becomes invisible after this. Alexander does not get it. And whether or not this whole story is true is, it's up for interpretation. The Land of Darkness thing kind of also reminds me of the Pirates of the Caribbean thing about the upside down. Yeah. Like the world that you can't reach unless you're lost. So.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I think it has like a touch of adventure. But I wish we could have followed that story like in a much more detailed and hard way. But there's not that detail with the Fountain of Youth.
No, like it's missing the details that you find in the Sorcerer's Stone. Like in the Sorcerer's Stone, we did this, the Elixir of Life. We were like getting the ounces of urine that they were saving in their apartments. And I'm like, yes, I like that. Like the guys that they talked to and they went on these travels that like told them these recipes that they were doing.
I thought we would get that.
Isaac Newton was doing Isaac Newton was doing the Sorcerer's Stone. And he's like one of the most regarded science minds of all time.
Like we thought we were going to get like.
But you're getting Alexander, who's one of the greatest military commanders of all time, who may or may not have went looking for it. Like that whole thing could be embellished and not be true at all necessarily.
Could be, and that wouldn't be uncommon for that time period to embellish and whatnot.
Because there's a lot of confusion about whether or not Alexander is even the two-horned one or whatever, or he's the one that's talking the Quran. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And this is because it's not like straightforward.
It's not straightforward at all. Yeah. It's a lot of he said, she said. Some people were saying that it was Cyrus the Great, and I think that he's come from the Persian Empire, and probably a different date and different time. And this is all on English translations of Alexander Romance, which is in like the Middle Ages, and
which the Middle Ages, they love doing pretty funny things.
In the Middle Ages, the guy who found the Fountain of Youth was his cook. Like that, the version of the story, the Alexander Romance. I told you the exciting one where the guy becomes invisible or whatever, and is already associated with the eternal life. But in the Alexander Romance European version, he's Alexander's chef or whatever, and I don't know, and that's how he knows that the fish is, because he's the one that's cooking the fish, and the fish that comes back to life, and then he doesn't tell Alexander about it, and he keeps it for himself. So it's different interpretations of the same story, but you see how vastly different they are from culture to culture.
Yeah, culture to culture,
separated by centuries as well, like
centuries and like ideologies.
Yeah, exactly. And there are other versions of the same story where it's not Alexander. It could be Moses.
Moses.
Yeah, Moses and the Kadir guy, who could be Elijah. Necessarily, because Elijah is one of those prophets that didn't die. He was the one of the ones that was like just taken to heaven.
Yeah.
So he could be associated with that, like,
give me a sec,
immortality.
Shaken, not stirred. Once again, this is hard to get off.
I think the more that you like, it's like this is cold temperature. Makes the metal like bind to each other more.
So I've kind of again jumping off, and of course it's not called the Fountain of Youth because I think again the Fountain of Youth is many different fountains.
Me too.
But one of the things that you can find is holy wells. Have you ever heard of a holy well?
Are these kind of like the ones that we talked about in Jerusalem?
A little bit, but well, yeah, actually.
Okay,
but they're more,
but they're not biblical. They're not in the Bible.
Biblical. They're just more Celtic. They're all over.
Yeah,
holy wells are all over, but there are springs of water that appear, usually associated with the saint, and they heal.
That's the criteria.
That's a basic
the healing
criteria,
part.
Yeah, of a holy well. So one very popular one, from Wales is called the Holy Well Church of Wales. They didn't go.
Not a big reach for that name. The Holy Well Church of Wales.
Oh, that one's more lemony. I don't know why. Maybe put more lemon juice in. That's great. This is a good drink, guys.
It is.
Like, I don't know. It's kind of dangerous though.
It is. I'm not really sure how dangerous it is.
Can you taste the absinthe in it?
Not really. I was thinking about adding a little bit more to mine.
Yeah, do it.
Like,
just throw it from there.
I don't want to use the drink for being dumb.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Don't use
because we might have to. We might have to come back to that.
You might have to be dumb.
I like these kind of tops. I don't know what you call it. It's like a hybrid between like a top and a cork.
Yeah.
It's like, what's up?
He's making.
We're modifying.
Yeah, he's taking the Corpse Reviver and adding some green fairy in there.
Yeah,
some like not just green fairy touch, but green fairy.
Look at my drink's green now. Look at that.
Let me know how it is.
Yeah.
So there was a Saint Winfred. She was a Welsh saint.
Never heard of Winfred before.
Well, there's thousands upon thousands of saints that are canonized, and this is a very localized one.
How many of those saints do you think that you know? Percentage. Give me a percentage wise of like total saints, like a pie chart. These are the saints that Jesse knows.
I know 2% of the Catholics.
2%.
Yeah,
oh wow,
Catholic saints.
I was going to say that it seems like you know a lot of them. So that just shows how many there really are.
I probably know like 2% of them.
Okay. That's crazy.
And I feel like I'm relatively educated on this. And I still feel like I only know 2% of them.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's like knowing all the Pokemon.
It's more than that. It was easy to know the 150.
When the 150,
it's
yeah.
The now modern Pokemon, I'm like,
I could have told you those 150, but nowadays it's like, whew.
You remember the Pokemon rap? I need to create a saint rap.
There probably is. I bet if you look on YouTube, I bet somebody has like a saint rap.
Oh God, I'm not going to look that up. She was venerated in the mid 8th century, so she's quite an ancient saint.
Yeah,
yeah, she's coming from. Look, there's a picture, statue of her.
Oh, she still got it.
Yeah, she still got it going.
I like that scepter that she's got. It kind of looks like a dream catcher on the end.
It does look like a dream catcher at the end. We'll put this on the screen, guys. Anyways, so she's a 7th century martyr. She really gained a lot of popularity in the like 1200s. So, she was an abbess of Shrewsbury Abbey.
Shrewsbury. Not Shrewsbury.
Not Shrewsbury.
That gives it a little bit of different meaning.
Yeah. There's quite a bit of like historic like telling of her from that time. She was the daughter of a chieftain, a Welsh chieftain. She permitted a man named Bruno
Bruno.
Sorry. He, the bishop or the chieftain, permitted Bruno to establish a church in his territory.
I would watch out for Bruno.
Yeah, no.
You can't trust a Bruno.
This Bruno seems pretty. Watch, this Bruno's badass.
All right.
You're going to like this one.
Bruno redemption arc for the name.
Yeah. Bruno became Winfred's either religious instructor, but a lot of writings say that he was actually her uncle. Not her husband.
Okay.
She, on the other hand,
jump at the gun here.
Yeah. Because she was actually dedicated to a life of chastity, and she was going to her whole idea is I'm going to devote myself to God. She was a nun, essentially. Well, her uncle or just religious instructor, and her whole family was at mass on Sunday.
Her uncle. This is where we're getting that Western archetype of the stories. Compass bleeding through right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Early.
Early.
Charles Dickens is like taking notes. Uncle, orphan. All right.
All right, we got this because we don't really hear about her parents.
It's funny.
So she's home one day while her parents are at mass. A prince named Caradoc.
Okay.
It's
Prince
Welsh.
Caradoc.
Yeah, I'm probably saying it wrong, but Prince Caradoc.
With a C or a K?
C.
Okay. More manly.
He visited their home. And finding that Winfred was alone, he was like, "Hey, pretty lady."
Of course.
Like Johnny Bravo. "Hey, pretty lady. You interested in getting fresh?" And she's like, "No, I'm dedicated to God." And he's like,
"Nice." She's like,
"Where?"
Skirt.
and he's kind of like, "I'm a man and I'm
the prince."
Yeah, I'm a prince. I get what I
lead
want.
with that. Yeah, you got to start with the "I'm a prince" when it comes down to it. If you're trying to abuse people into sleeping with you.
You got to start with "I'm a prince." And she's like, she realizes that he is stronger than her. And he's like, "If you don't let me, I will force myself upon you." And you're like, and in a code of law, that's not okay. But he was like, "I'm going to do that."
I am above the law because I am the royalty.
But he's there doing his thing. And you're like, she's like trying to be smart about it. So she's like, tricks him. And she's like, "Yes, I will sleep with you, but let me go change.
Let me slip into something sexy."
Yeah, let me slip into something sexy.
Yeah.
And while he's like waiting and he's drinking he's not drinking
his
something.
Corpse Survivor.
try to get himself there. He's like, she slips out.
Smart.
Of the window. And she runs to the church. Well, he realizes he was bamboozled. And he's like, "I'm going to ride my horse real quick. I'm going to ride my horse and catch up to her." And so as she's running the church, he's riding, galloping, going, and he catches up with her.
Oh, man.
And right when she's at the threshold of the church, he takes his sword and slices her head off.
Wow. Talk about seconds away from being like life or death.
Yeah. Her corpse falls to the front of the church and the head rolls into the front of it. And from that place burst a spring.
Wow. Wait, is this going to be one of those stories where the body gets up and picks up the head?
Hear me out.
Okay.
So, where her head landed inside of the threshold, there a spring bursted forth from the earth. That's like in the church pretty much.
That's crazy. So like, what are the logistics of this? Like, we're going to be rezoning the church as like a natural spring sort of thing. Okay.
I'll get rezoned.
Okay. That's going to like infect the insurance on it and things like that.
It's all made of stone at that time. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing else.
Stone's like one of those things is like thousands of years is not going to be affected because it's going to like erode for a long time.
Yeah. So it's okay.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Okay.
Yeah. Where that so Bruno, her religious instructor, uncle priest.
Is he there?
Yeah. He's like, "Dude, you're in trouble." And he pronounces a curse upon him. And immediately he's struck down.
Is he dead?
Dead.
Wow.
Boom.
You don't hear about curses from like that side of the
He
situation very often.
He is cursed by Bruno at that moment. And he then takes Winfred's head, places it on her body, prays for her as for revival of herself.
Oh, good. What happens?
The prayer was granted, and Winfred returned to life with merely just a line on her neck.
That's called a scar.
Yep, just a scar, right?
Yeah.
That is called a scar.
That's pretty awesome.
And all pretty much everything from that point agrees that she became abbess some years later, and she died many years later. but that fount stayed there.
From her, that burst forth from her head.
Yeah, it was so popular. It was one of the popular like.
But if her head went back to her body, then like where was the fountain coming from?
Just the ground.
Excuse me. Okay.
Yeah, it just became a place, and people would come there to be healed all the time.
That's cool.
Like for centuries, people were coming there to be healed.
Oh, yeah.
And then something dreadful happened.
What?
The Protestant Reformation.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Martin Luther.
No, but this is the English Reformation.
Oh.
English Reformation is very different than
King Henry.
Yeah, King Henry. Mm-hmm. Exactly. He's like, I want to have sex with everyone, and you can't stop
Grant me the divorce.
Or else.
I'm the king.
I'm the king. Give me what I want. And he doesn't get what he wants, so he's like, I'm head of the church.
I'm going to start a new church.
This church will let kings get divorced, but not you guys. And
that sounds familiar. I don't know why.
But despite,
hold on, I just like missed my mouth.
Nice.
We're gonna like
solid. Yep.
I was looking at you. I was drinking, and I was like,
"This is what Legends and Libations is about. It's about that libation."
Yep.
So he where was it? Oh yeah. So he's like closing down all the monasteries, and pilgrimages are becoming like less. And he tries outlawing Catholicism, but all the Catholics keep going there.
Yeah, that never works.
Yeah, because they're like way.
We can't get rid of you if we try.
They're way in Wales. What's he going to do in London?
Mm-hmm.
He's not coming out here. Well, anyways, some years later, after the abbeys are closed down and everything, they realized that they can't. The Protestant Reformation realizes
that was a dumb thing. So
yeah, you got to drink.
Mm-hmm.
The Anglican Church is like, well, we could make money off of this, and they start putting their
charging admission.
Yeah. They have a guy named William freaking A. What is William's
William
name?
Of Orange.
No, he's not
Wallace.
William Orange comes later.
Okay.
Anyway, some guy named William.
The Conqueror.
William Holocroft.
William Holocaust.
Holocroft. he's like, I'm going to control this. Well,
he's like PR.
But the Catholics are like, no, we're not giving you donations, and they give donations to other charitable things.
Oh, so he's just like not trustworthy.
Well, he's not Catholic, and and they're all Catholic, and so yeah, it doesn't work.
So he just like appointed himself.
Yeah, he's trying to. He's trying to.
That's not working very well.
And pretty much the locals, like he then tries like closing it down, but the locals just push him out of the way and keep going. Like he can't stop it.
He can't stop anybody. Yeah,
and the Jesuits
can't arrest all of us.
They can't arrest all of us. The Jesuits get there, and they actually.
The Jesuits gotta watch out for them. They're always like controlling the back door of everything.
And the English are really scared of them. Mm-hmm. The English are really scared of them because they don't dress like priests. They dress like, oh shit.
That's how I felt too.
They don't dress like priests. They dress like
warriors or something, or like assassins. I don't know. Who knows?
God,
there's like a whole other history of the Jesuits that runs parallel to stuff. They're one of those like.
I went to a Jesuit college for my undergrad, so watch out.
You did? Where was that?
In New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell me the secrets. Like, what's the deal of them?
I didn't know. I'll tell you secrets.
Come on, Jesse. This is Legends and Libations. This is where you tell the secrets right here.
Well, maybe you'll get a legend soon, bud.
Okay. I want to know because I'm doing a bad job of thinking of the other groups that I associate them with, but I associate them.
You think of them as the Templar?
Sort of, for sure.
Yeah, that's normal. But anyways, they take over. And even though there's all these anti-Catholic things going on, they're like, we're doing our thing. I'm making a new drink, buddy.
I'm surprised I didn't break the glass.
Yeah, don't break these glasses, man. They're cool.
Yeah, they came from
Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree. What up?
What up? Yeah, this afternoon I was like, I need martini glasses, and we didn't have any. Legends Libations doesn't actually have those.
Not in our budget, really.
So now they are in our budget with Dollar Tree prices. Who could refuse?
Yes, exactly.
Who could refuse having some martini glasses?
Have you been to Dollar Tree in England and the UK?
I have not.
It's called Poundland.
Oh, I have been there.
Poundland. Everything's a pound.
And yeah, I've been there actually.
I didn't have any more to go along with that because I don't remember what happened at Poundland, but like,
you just get the same things.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Dollar Tree, but it's Poundland.
All right. So back in it, they led pilgrimages there even against English will. There was pretty much a papal like law or bull, or essentially like a papal law. The Pope said, if you're a Catholic in England, it's your responsibility to be rebellious against the English crown.
It's your responsibility to cause anarchy.
Exactly. And
license to anarchy.
Yeah, religious license to anarchy. It was awesome.
We like that.
So James the First
of England.
Yeah, of England.
And the 6th of Scotland.
1605. Led a pilgrim. He was actually very interested in it.
Mm-hmm. He was bi-curious.
He led a pilgrimage there, but it was stopped under William of Orange, and then there was the gunpowder.
Damn, William, you're orange. Get out of here.
You know that he couldn't even speak English. He only could speak German.
Of course, dude. The British royal family right now is German.
Exactly.
Yes.
I love the Jacobite Rebellion. I wish it made it. It would have changed history.
I wish it made it. Do I get one of these guys?
Oh yeah. Just twist it in there.
Just twist it in there. Wait, I hear about the Jacobite Rebellion, but like I don't know enough to like speak about it. But
that will be another Legends and Libations.
Okay.
We talked about it a little bit in our
the stone.
The stone, yeah, the stone,
the Destiny Stone.
Stone of Destiny.
Yeah,
that was fun. Mm-hmm. Stone of Destiny was.
I get a lot of people who say that they like the episode a lot because the story in it was really good.
The story was so good.
Yeah,
but yeah, the Jacobite Rebellion is like classic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this same situation is they were using this pilgrimage as part of the gunpowder plot. You remember the
5th of November.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. With the Guy Fawkes Day. And
yeah. So this is like part of the people who are going to blow up Parliament were in this pilgrimage.
Oh, I like this story. One of the best movies probably ever made, I think. With the symbolism and like the foresight and the writing and the cinematography. It's amazing. And the whole thing, it's Elrond from Lord of the Rings behind the mask, and you never know it the whole time.
It's so good.
Yes, it's so good. Quotable and relevant.
And super relevant. Like sometimes we like, what's with us trusting?
I could watch it every year.
We should do Guy Fawkes one day.
That's a good legend, actually.
That might just be a fun one, dude. Anyways,
people would probably know about that one, though.
Yeah, gunpowder plot, guys. Remember the 5th of November.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm actually.
We like to do things that people don't know a lot about on here on Legends and Libations, and get to the sides that aren't well known.
Once Garnet was accused of using the pilgrimage to cover the conspirators, they pretty much tried shutting it down again. But again,
like a campus demonstration.
Yeah, but again, they couldn't. They couldn't because people are like, well, we're Catholic and we're going over there. You see that spot right there, that holy well?
We're going there.
And so again,
try to stop us.
Like they would stop them for like 3 years and then they would come back. Well, like they waited there. Like the Anglican Church set up people to wait there. The king set up people to wait there. For when they got there, they had to make an oath to the Church of England and that the king was the head of the church. They would just rush them and move them out.
Exactly.
Literally,
LOL, this cosplay.
Literally it happens so many times. It's like repeats every couple of years. They're like, oh man, we're going to take over. There was one time a chief justice of Chester, John Bridgman.
Chester John. That sounds like Prester John. Spoiler, foreshadowing.
Yeah, right. He actually tried getting all the inns to report all their guests so that he could
some narking on some people.
Wow. You need to narc on these people, and they're like,
no, they're paying us money.
Exactly, they didn't narc on them.
Customers.
But that year, more than 1,400 knights, ladies, and gentlemen, these are rich people in the society, and 150 Catholic priests all came in rebellion to them, saying, "You can't come."
Some solidarity. We like that.
So it just really didn't work. Like James II, who was more friendly with Catholics, he actually set up the Jesuits there and said, hey, actually, you guys are fine there. And then his wife donated.
It becomes like such a big problem that you're like, I want these voters. Oh, I will assimilate them and I will pardon them. Actually, let me get their support.
Yeah, let me actually go and donate money to this thing.
Yeah, once it becomes big enough, it's like when they say if I borrow $100 from you, it's my problem. But if I borrowed like $1 million from you, then it becomes your problem. Because you got to get $1 million back from me, which might be hard to do.
$100 is one thing. He's just like, I'm going to go ahead and support this. 30 pounds, which 30 pounds back then was a lot more than what it is.
Right, exactly.
He helped rebuild it.
I'll show you what 30 pounds is.
Dude, you lost 30 pounds.
I did, exactly.
In the 1700s, the secular culture became interested in because people were being healed. And so they were like, it's
ongoing.
They're like, what's happening
while
here?
this drama is happening?
But we're also having a scientific revolution, and they're like anti-religious. So like, what minerals are in the water to heal people?
But Isaac Newton's like, let me turn this into gold over here at the same time. You said 1700s?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
But something dramatically changed it kind of gained less popularity by like the 1800s. But in 1805, there was a
little bit of Napoleon going on this time, so that might have been why.
There was a young woman who was completely like paralyzed, and she was left to bathe there, and she was completely healed. And all of a sudden, it just sparked interest again, and everyone started going again. Like, wow. I don't know, like if it
revitalized, like
revitalized someone who completely couldn't do anything, and like all of a sudden they could do things again.
That's awesome.
So there was dramatic publicization, a revival of interest.
Had a good PR team behind it.
They had great marketing.
They're like on their Gutenberg printing presses, and
Bishop John Miller was like, "Yeah, it's an evident miracle. We have to go ahead and it defies science, so we need to go ahead and like promote this." Up to this was kind of the popularity for a little while, but something terrible happened.
Dried up.
How did you know? On the 5th of January, 1917, it dried up.
Uh-oh.
If you know, that's during World War
One.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, they were like...
Not a coincidence.
Now the world's thinning too much. They can't have healing.
Yeah, exactly.
They can't have healing pools anymore.
The line will just be too big.
Yeah. And they were like, oh, yeah, all the water went into different like waterways pretty much by because all the construction and stuff happening. And they then...
what year did you say? 1917? So this is Industrial Revolution, maybe like near the end of the first one or beginning of the second one, something like that.
1918 is the end of the war. And so they decide to, there's a mine that is filled with water some miles away, and they make that water move there. They pretty much just transport.
They diverted it.
Yeah, they diverted a different water there. And so there's water there now.
But it's not
the
same.
The original spring. Allegedly, it still has healing properties, but like...
It's watered down. It's watered down a little bit, yeah.
It's watered down, so you're
literally,
like, well, what the...
I don't know.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean...
it's a little bit like just out of reach.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Like now it just feels like, even though there was countless miracles there, and even up to 1960s, you could see tons of like crutches and stuff hanging there that people left.
It's like people out there that are bras at the Floribama.
It's like that, but not so dirty. Yeah, but like that. Like rather than freeing their boobs, they were freeing their legs.
Their legs.
Yeah.
This is a completely impromptu joke. This is why it's funny.
You're going to drink that?
Yeah. Why do I have to drink that?
Because you're saying things. Anyways, so it was actually called the Lords of the West, which we'll get into why it was called that towards the end. But the pool did have like some healing properties for a long time.
Is it still going on today?
People still go there today, and people still claim to be healed, but there's not as much of association. There still is a pilgrimage there. But I think when the water changed over, people trusted it less. It was no longer. I can see
why, for sure.
Yeah, because it's no longer from the head of a woman who was resurrected.
No, it's from a coal mine or something like that. Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of like, I don't know.
Do I believe them?
There is a ritual, though, that you're supposed to do.
Okay.
So there is
What's the ritual, Jesse?
The ritual, according to the traditional method, the traditional method of bathing in the well is to pass 3 times through a small pool. Adjacent to the spring. Adjacent to the spring, which while reciting 1 decade of the rosary, and then to move into the outer pool and kneel on a submerged stone known as St. Bruno's stone for a long time as it takes to complete the prayer.
This reminds me of that Taekwondo thing that you do at the end of Taekwondo.
Which one?
The thing that where you do like the whole like move thing.
Oh yeah.
And it's like jump, but in this move and that move,
do these
and
certain
like
moves.
you have to do this, or the pool's not going to work for you.
Another guy in.
Wait, were they doing that in the new pool or in the old pool?
I think that's the older one.
Okay.
I
believe it a little more in the old one.
Yeah, that's the older
one. And the
one.
new one, I'm like, it's like hop on your left foot while you hold your nose or something like that. Yeah.
Do yoga or something.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
That.
Mm-hmm.
Another person, Robert of Shrewsbury, not Shroomberry. He wrote, "Whoever shall at any time in whatsoever sorrow or suffering implore your aid for deliverance from sickness or misfortune, shall at the first or the second or certainly the third petition obtain his wish and rejoin to the attainment of what he asked for." So he's like, whatever you ask for, if you ask 3 times, you'll get it.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, I felt like.
Why do you need to ask 3 times though? Like I said it once. Do I need to say it 2 more times?
Yeah, I don't like his
to
as
prove
much.
that I'm serious. I don't know.
I like the one where you have to walk here, do a rosary, and kneel on the stone. I feel like that one makes more sense. A decade of the
I'm
rosary.
more serious this way, of course. Like the other one, did you like not hear me the first time?
Yeah. Like it doesn't feel as authentic. Yeah. So yeah, Saint Winfred is kind of cool.
I liked a lot of the details that you had with Saint Winfred. Like it had a lot of authenticity because you were able to like tell us how it evolved over time from the origin.
This feels more real than some of the myths that don't have anywhere. This one was a place that you and I could go to today.
We could go to it. We could wash our dicks in it. I mean, we could drink it.
We could drink it.
All right. So
Ponce de Leon is the next one, if I'm correct.
Unfortunately, really,
he's like the well-known one.
Yeah, if you search Fountain of Youth, you hear about Ponce de Leon.
Yeah,
and it's like a giant, colossal mistake, though.
Tell me about that.
Well, see, Ponce de Leon. Okay, something cool that I did learn about him. I don't want to give him no credit. You know what I mean?
He's credible
for some things. Yeah, like being the governor of Puerto Rico. He was the governor of Puerto Rico, I think, for the first time.
The one territory that's still not a state.
We might have a few of those. Like, what is Guam? I don't know.
Another territory that's not a
state. Puerto Rico should totally be. Like, like a lot of people in Puerto Rico are trying to like vote to become part of Spain again.
They should become part of something because
we're not getting any right. They're not getting any rights as being part of America. Like really,
it's not cool.
Whatever breaks the 50 state paradigm will be like a history making thing because like the 50 states of America is so ingrained in like the zeitgeist.
Can you imagine 51?
Yeah, no.
Or 49.
No, not like the Dakotas becoming one Dakota or something like that. Or
Texas saying I'm out.
I'm going. Yeah, exactly.
I'm
or
out.
California being a few things. Like you can't break that.
Yeah.
The boomers would not have it. They would get out in their walkers and their wheelchairs and they would storm the Capitol.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so Ponce de Leon. The guy who is synonymous with the Fountain of Youth. Yeah. There is even a place in St. Augustine, Florida, that is a tourist attraction called the Fountain of Youth.
Yes.
Where you can go today. But
this is part of the drink, by the way. The triple sec, the orange, that's where, because it is allegedly in Florida.
Right.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
But so allegedly.
Completely fabricated, though, because Ponce de Leon was not looking for the Fountain of Youth at all.
What was he looking for?
He was looking for gold. He was one of those
in El Dorado.
Spanish. Yeah, exactly. He was one of these Spanish conquistadors. He actually, the interesting thing about him is that he came over on Columbus's second voyage. He wasn't even on Columbus's like OG voyage.
He was on the second voyage.
Yeah, exactly. He was on the one that was like, I know that you can make it to America, so I'll be willing to go with you.
He's like the safe ride.
I don't want to be like the first one, but like, oh, you guys go ahead.
I'm the second person to the moon.
One of them that blew up was like not like the Apollo 13 or 12 one was like not the one that was the first. Apollo 11 was the first one. But that is funny. Ponce de Leon, though. Okay, so the whole reason that Ponce de Leon is associated with the Fountain of Youth in general is because he had like this political rivalry that was going on with this other guy. And the whole reason that he was sent to explore Florida in like the New World or whatever was because he was being his governorship of Puerto Rico was being given to one of Christopher Columbus's sons called Diego Columbus.
What a name. Diego. Columbus.
Diego is kind of a cool name.
That's my godson's name.
Nice.
Diego.
Yeah. I was about to say it sounds kind of like a gang member's name, but now that you say that, I'm going to retract that part of the statement.
Juan Diego. It comes from Juan Diego.
Ponce de Leon. He's got Juan. And he's got Diego.
Jeez.
That's funny. He's destined for greatness and the Fountain of Youth. Maybe not the Fountain of Youth, though. But since Ponce de Leon was kind of out as the governor of Puerto Rico because it was being given to Diego, that he was given a letter by the King of Spain to explore Florida for the Spanish crown.
Go look at their oranges, please.
And you can have whatever you want. Just declare in the name of Spain.
Miami.
Indigenous people.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
That's what the Spanish are thinking.
So that's what he was looking for. And he was like looking for gold, but he was not looking for the Fountain of Youth. The Fountain of Youth was kind of like a myth in the indigenous Caribbean culture at the time, but it was kind of, if you remember in our El Dorado episode, how the indigenous peoples used El Dorado as a way to get rid of.
Get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They were like, oh, you're looking for El Dorado or the Fountain of Youth? Oh, it's just over that mountainside, or it's just on the coast.
Is over there.
On the coast, on that side of the continent. And it was a good way to get rid of the Spanish explorers.
California. Southern California.
Yeah, you could totally tell them a direction to go in, and with a little bit of a promise of gold or of immortality, that they would totally take off in that direction.
Yeah. Gold seemed more promising because I don't feel like the immortality thing they really, really ran with.
Probably not, because being immortal without any gold, like
you're
gonna be a homeless person forever.
That's not fun.
Yes, no, that's America. But Ponce de Leon, he got associated with the Fountain of Youth after his death by I think it was 15 to 20 years. That this guy whose name is Gonzalo Fernandez de Oviedo.
What a name.
He was Spain's official historian of the Indies. This time they called the Indies this area where Cuba, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Hispaniola sort of was, Puerto Rico. And he was kind of like a political rival of Ponce de Leon, or he worked closely for someone who was. So he didn't, he wanted to make Ponce de Leon look like he was on a wild goose chase. And he claimed that he was looking for the Fountain of Youth because he was impotent.
He couldn't have children. He's looking for the
Fountain of Youth was going to allow him to be a prolific father of children.
And if you think of some of the Fountains of Youth, some of the healing,
they could do that sort of thing. And that's what motivated Ponce de Leon to continue on his adventures. But this was after he was dead.
I want to have children.
Yeah, Ponce de Leon actually died because he took an arrow in the leg and it got infected while he was in Florida, and he died from that. So
I would hate to die by arrow infection.
Yeah, me too.
Dying by arrow
is one thing.
In the neck.
Or the heart. Yeah, exactly. I think the arrow. Somewhere like a bullet.
Arrow infection.
That's not good. No, arrow in my leg, and I'm gonna die from that. Whew, that's gonna be awful for sure.
I would have poured some liquor in there.
Yeah, me too. I'll pull a libation.
Yeah, pour a libation
in your arrow wound if you have one currently.
Probably something stronger than this.
And call the hospital too, because you should probably seek some professional attention.
Pour some whiskey in there. Not
vodka works really good too.
Yeah.
I watched a made-for-TV movie when I was little, and it was a Moby Dick. It was like a dramatization of Moby Dick, but they were...
It's not dramatic enough.
Not dramatic enough, but they were piercing the guy's ears on the boat, and they put a nail on their ear and hammered it in. Afterwards, they took the rum or whatever, and they poured it all over his ear, and they're like, this disinfects the wound. I was like, wow.
It really does.
Yeah. Wow. I'm going to remember that later. And here I am.
You are talking about it. Yep, you do. You remember it.
But don't try to pierce my ear with a nail. But You might be able to. I don't know. I might let you do it.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break real quick.
Legends and libations.
I come back and I've got 2 studs right here. And I'm just like pouring down blood from both ears.
But the studs are literally like stud, like nails.
Yeah, they're just like nails. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's like
nails.
rust aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's like big these days,
Fun.
Like when they bring you your food on a shovel at a restaurant because they think that you want it to be rustic. And it's like, here's your eggs and your hash browns. I'll give you on a
Here's
shovel.
your steak on a pitchfork.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Shout out to the We Want Plates subreddit. That's where I get a lot of jokes.
We want plates.
Yeah.
We want plates.
We want plates. Okay, so like Ponce de Leon's ties with the Fountain of Youth are completely fabricated and like not true at all.
That's so sad.
Yes, I wanted to lead with this tonight, but Jesse was like, we should actually talk about the Fountain of Youth a little bit before. And I was like, okay.
The Fountain of Youth isn't actually here.
Yeah, exactly. Because people might tune out to that. I don't know.
The story possible. You all know. Fake.
If you search any video on the Fountain of Youth on YouTube, the first ones are going to talk about Ponce de Leon because that's like the name that is part and parcel.
Did they all pretty much say, hey, this is a hoax?
No. All of them were like following this guy's line because like this guy's story spread into other historians' stories and it just like became the origin point for it. And then like his name was cemented with the Fountain of Youth for time immemorial.
Yeah.
Yes. And it was all because of like a political rivalry and like they didn't like each other or whatever.
Yeah.
So Ponce de Leon, the Fountain of Youth, is not true at all. Indigenous peoples in Florida did have a river who did like a healing sort of thing or may have bestowed immortality amongst themselves, but it was not a thing that like the Spanish were looking for or even knew about. Like it was a very hyper localized religious
kind of concept of like maybe
they were doing it as a thing that they did.
A funny thing is, who's the writer of it again?
Fernando Fernandez de Oviedo.
So he writes all of this, and we could have forgot about Ponce de Leon. Like,
good point.
But he's now immortalized him, giving him the very immortality
that he didn't want him to have.
He didn't want him to have, and I don't even know his name. I can't. You just told it to me. I can't even remember.
I had to write his name down specifically.
But Ponce de Leon.
Ponce de Leon.
Named after him.
Mm-hmm. You can go to Augustine, Florida.
Yeah.
Where allegedly he landed, and there's a tourist attraction there, and you can go drink the water.
And I still remember him. Well, I don't remember this guy. So he ironically gave him kind of the Greek immortality.
Good point, Jesse. Yeah. Ponce de Leon, the name almost sounds like a fountain itself.
I know. I would name a fountain that.
Yes,
it's such a cool.
Me too.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even looking for it.
He wasn't even looking for it.
Yeah.
Good job.
He just needed some antibiotics or something for his leg. He just needed some Neosporin. That's all.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
He died for why didn't he pour rum on it?
Maybe that doesn't work all the time. I don't know.
It works all the time.
Oh, well,
100%.
Maybe he
just kidding. So there's not really more to that story then.
No, like that's
sad.
Even when we talk about like Pirates of the Caribbean in the story like that, like all of that is kind of like branched off from this Ponce de Leon thing. And the Fountain of Youth was in the mythology of the Caribbean islands and North America. And it kind of spreads to today. Like if you look up Fountain of Youth and you get really granular with your search results and you like click into the things that people that have like 500 views or less on YouTube, you can find these guys who have found a Fountain of Youth in Chicago, like outside of Chicago, or one in like Georgia or something like that, or Arkansas. These places, I found one where they took the water from a place in Arkansas and they took it to a biologist and they went and had it tested under something, and they were like, oh, well, this has extra concentration of silver molecules and it makes it like have healing properties. But a lot of this is like just bunk stuff. Like, I don't know, they're totally reaching. It's not more of a healing property than anything else does. That's a natural spring.
Okay, well, let's talk about something that's not really.
Yeah, we don't like Ponce de Leon here on Legends and Libations.
Yeah, we wanted more.
We think that him being included in history books is kind of like unfair to people who actually did exploration.
Yeah, definitely went after dude, because I really was thinking we were going to have like when we were looking for El Dorado situation. I thought
Me too.
Adventures.
Fountain of Youth could not be further from El Dorado when I think about it.
But a Fountain of Youth that is pretty substantial. Have you heard of Our Lady of Lourdes?
Oh, I have not. Is like Lourdes like Lords?
Lourdes.
Oh, with a U.
It's Lourdes
the British Lords.
No, it's a city in France.
Oh, okay.
Or a town in France.
Never heard of this.
So the first time I became Catholic some time ago, but I actually heard it from a show called Down to Earth with Zac Efron. Have you watched that on Netflix?
Oh, I've heard of that before. Yeah.
It's super good. There's an episode on water.
Nice.
On just water.
Everybody likes water.
Well, and it's talking about mineral waters.
Oh, yeah. The one that tastes like the Tums.
We were talking before this about Matthew loving tap water. But this whole episode's like, actually, you need minerals and water, and it's actually healthier for you if you have it, because
that's what makes it taste like Tums, I feel like. It's got to be.
Well, this is where I first heard about it, and I was like pretty moved by the story, but I didn't really like
Zac Efron's story.
Our Lady of Lourdes story.
Oh, okay.
Which they were talking about water over the earth, but then they were talking about miracles connected to water, which is the Fountain of Youth. It's a miracle connected to water. Well,
in its most basic sense.
And then you're thinking like we can't survive 3 days without water. After 3 days, we're done, right? Like we don't have anything left. And then you're thinking about the earth is like 70% water. Our bodies are
70% water, something like that. Yeah.
So you can't like.
They stuck Jesus. Water came out of him.
Yeah, water and blood. It wasn't
Shout out, Spirit of Destiny.
Yeah, right. Oh, well, exactly. Associations with baptism, associations with the birth of the church. I mean, like
cleansing.
Water.
Yeah, exactly.
What am I doing?
Circle of life, everything.
Yeah, like it's connected to everything. And they actually had a whole section on how you shouldn't, if it's glacier water or spring water, you should drink it. But if it's water from just tap, or if it's like purified water, you should not drink it.
What was their reasoning behind that?
The water would actually absorb the minerals from your body rather than give you minerals. So
sounds like some new age ideology.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's the science is there or anything, but it was a good show
there either. But
Our Lady of Lourdes is a bit of a different.
Tell me about that, dude.
So, I'm making you a drink, so it's hard.
No, you're good. It's hard to multitask at the same time. Plus, we've been drinking for a long time anyway. So
yeah, like 2 hours.
Yeah,
2 hours having drinks, top notch drinks. This drink's good.
It's one of my favorites.
Shoot, look how much water. I mean, dry vermouth.
Look how much dry vermouth you've used the whole night, though. You've used like the neck of it, and that's it, pretty much.
Yeah, it's not much. This drink, because of how it's broken up in the.
Do you want to do a shot of dry vermouth?
That's like real punishment.
But we should almost do that, though.
Yeah, maybe we do need to do that in the end. Yeah, maybe we do need to have a shot in the end of dry vermouth to see what it's like. Because like I haven't.
We should do that now. Not at the end, because at the end, I mean, I don't want to do the dry vermouth, but like we should both do, like just taste it.
Yeah, because we don't really know what dry.
Yeah,
hey, finish that absinthe right there.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, I don't really know what dry vermouth tastes like, so like that wouldn't be bad to try. Just see what it's like.
Dude, that's like the third time that I've done the absinthe tonight.
How do you like it?
It's so good, but so strong.
I'll do this one.
Okay, absinthe might be one of the strongest drinks ever, though.
Oi.
It
tastes like the Green Fairy.
Tastes like I remember it. We don't have to do the dry vermouth though.
We don't have to
because we both just did a little absinthe, and we're both gonna have a drink soon. So, you know.
No, we both gotta do the dry vermouth.
Okay, let's do it. Damn it.
Yeah, pour.
All right. Look at this. We're taking a slight detour here. We actually have two products of France here on the table. The absinthe from France, and the dry vermouth is also from France too.
Really? Oh yeah, I forgot.
I know this is because I'm holding it. The other one is because I think I read it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's vermouth. It sounds like Vermont, like one of the names they consider for Vermont, but they said that this name is not a good name.
It sounded like moose too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Vermouth.
Oh gosh, tastes like
leftover wine.
Oh yeah, like you had a bath in a pickle juice or something like that.
It tastes like wine that's been left out too much. Ugh.
Not dry at all, because it's definitely got my paper wet.
Me too, man. Anyways, so Our Lady of Lourdes. It's one of the most well-known healing shrines.
Where is it?
It's in Lourdes, France.
Oh, okay. You said that.
France.
There we go. Full circle.
Full circle, guys.
Bring
Full
us
circle. It has 4 to 6 million people visiting a year.
That is a lot of people visiting.
As a pilgrimage place, is only shadowed by Rome and Jerusalem.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So France has the third most visited pilgrimage place.
Yes.
What about Mecca?
More than Mecca.
No way.
Yeah.
I think that these are segmented out by religion. These stats that you are quoting me. I bet that Mecca is Islam and that this place is only Catholicism.
I mean, Zac Efron was not Catholic and he went.
Okay.
And he's on Netflix.
But I've never heard of this place.
Well, you're welcome.
Okay.
Aren't you glad you came today?
I guess.
So
we'll fact check this one.
We'll put it on the screen, guys, for you guys, because I didn't look it up.
It's okay. We don't look up a lot of things. We are neither fact checked nor peer
reviewed.
reviewed.
There's a lot of questions that you ask me that I don't know.
No, it's okay.
I'm
trying to make conversation about our podcast.
So, 1858, Bernadette. She's a 14-year-old girl, extremely poor. Like, she lives in the ruins of an old prison that was like retired. Wow. Like the prison was too bad for prisoners to live in, and her family's that poor they're living in there. She wasn't super educated. She hardly knew her catechism or how to write or read.
She was obviously hideous to look upon. I don't know.
Well, actually, pictures of her, she seems normal. But she did live a very holy life.
That's good.
And the thing she knew is that God loved her. Like that's her thing. She knew.
Most important.
Yeah. On February 11th, she was, her mom allowed her to go. She was very sickly also. That's another thing. She was not.
Don't bury the lead, dude. Come on.
No, she was sickly.
If she was sickly, you got to lead with that.
I should have led with that.
Yeah.
She is sickly and she's 14.
Okay.
And she's not.
We got all this.
Yeah. She is not in a good situation.
Because she could not be educated because she's sickly and
Yeah. So now you forgive her a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, she was with some friends and her mom allowed them even in February to go grab some wood. And they had like garage.
Even in February. What does that mean?
So her mom asked her to go grab.
Does that like touch grass? Grab some wood?
It's cold.
I don't even know what touch grass means, dude. I'm old.
It's the vermouth.
My paper's wet.
From vermouth.
Yeah, exactly. My wood is wet.
So she goes like to go fetch wood because they need it. Mm-hmm. She also was told to get bones because they're making soup. But
what's the bones for?
Because they're so poor. Animals bones just.
You're supposed to like get the chop of the animal and then like the bones stay in there after you.
Yeah,
you don't get like extra bones. That's weird.
Oh, who knows? I've never been.
That's
that
like
poor.
a super poor
move,
thing. Yeah.
So when she was,
that's like the leather in your shoes in St. Petersburg after the siege of Stalingrad sort of thing.
Exactly. It was not a good state. Her friends did end up crossing a like canal and left her there, and she was staying. She was like at like this grotto, another
grotto.
Yeah, right. She says she actually writes, "I raised my head and looked towards the grotto. I saw a lady dressed in white, wearing a white dress, a blue girdle, and a yellow rose on each foot, the same color as the chain of her rosary." She also had a rosary. When she came back and told her parents that, they were like, "You can't go outside anymore." Right? Because it's like,
we don't believe you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few days later, February 14th, so she did that on February 11th, February 14th, they let her go out again. So they were not very strict parents.
No.
Can
you imagine though? Like,
and again, she saw this lady.
There's probably a lot of stuff going on, so her parents couldn't police her with
they were too
minutia
busy.
of the day-to-day sort of thing.
She went again on February 18th, saw this lady again. But on the 18th, this lady told her to come back every day for 2 weeks. One of the things that she told this girl is start digging right here in the mud. Well, it wasn't even mud. Start digging here in the dirt and keep going. She started digging
with her shovel, not a spade or like anything.
No, nothing.
Not a
her hands. She was covered with mud. She came back to town, and people just thought she was insane. She was like, "I need to keep digging here," and the whole crowd's like, "What are you doing? You're being crazy." Right. She's covered with mud all over, and they're just like,
she's gonna find something though in this mud.
Yeah. Well,
leads me to believe that the reason that you're telling me the story is that she's not digging in vain.
Yeah. Okay,
she's going to find something.
Yeah. She keeps digging, and in that spot, a spring wells up.
Mm-hmm. She keeps digging, and then it fills up with water. And you dig some more, and some water comes up
and
more. And you're just like, well, I can't stop digging, and the water keeps coming up. Yeah, so, like, where's it going to go?
She uncovers this, like, natural spring. As she visited the lady told her a chapel needs to be built here.
On the water.
On the spring.
Mm-hmm.
Or next to the spring, right?
Next to it.
Yeah.
We have a lot of, like, these, like, chapels with the spring happening inside of them.
Welcome to
This is the third story of this.
Yeah. we got it from Judaism, and then
there we go.
We just continued with it. Funny. Bernadette says in this chapel,
her name changed from Bernadette because, like, no one's dating anybody named Bernadette.
She didn't date. She's
another one of these
virgin.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. She was at this chapel. They were supposed to pray for the conversion of sinners and to drink from the spring water.
Check and check.
People in town started shifting their views because they were like, "Oh, actually, this is."
They see it, and
they're like, it's happening. There's spring here,
of course.
Like, people actually have a place to get water, drink, bathe, things like that. They're excited, but the civil authorities are like, no
spring water,
and they treat her like a common criminal,
of course.
But the people attack them and pull her out of jail.
There we go.
And they're like, no, you're not doing this.
It's like a reverse angry mob. A rescue mob. Wow. That never happens.
Yeah. And like, as much as they interrogated everything, they just had to let her go because everyone was against them. The townspeople believed in what she was seeing. And after 18 times of seeing this lady, the lady reveals herself as the Immaculate Conception on the Feast of the Assumption, or the Annunciation of Our Lady, on March 25th.
The Feast of the Assumption.
Feast of the Annunciation, sorry.
We know who we are, we assume.
Sorry, that is a Catholic feast. The Assumption is the Assumption of Our Lady. The Annunciation is when...
Pronounce it well.
Yeah, right. It's better. So she claims to be the Immaculate Conception. The Immaculate Conception is a Catholic dogma.
We learned about this in the last episode.
Yes, we did.
Immaculate Conception, and how it's a misnomer sometimes with other people who interpret it in different ways.
It is that Our Lady was born without sin, and that was 4 years before Saint Bernadette saw this.
Okay. Precedent.
Yeah, so it like kind of finds its way there. So on this, I'm gonna throw that one away. I have a lot of dry vermouth on it.
Yeah, me too. Dude.
So it's like literally people are healed over and over
on Bernadette.
No, by the spring.
By the spring where Bernadette was also healed.
She's healed of her own infirmaries. She lives she doesn't live long, but it goes way past her. And like the whole idea is the church is like, by the fruits you'll know. And people are being healed here. Well, it has been there for years and years now, since the 1850s. And they now like literally have a chief doctor there because they can't just like, people claim miracles all the time. I saw Mary and toast. Do. Yeah. I had this.
Dude, that's the fourth or fifth time that I've heard the Mary and toast thing in like the past week.
Yeah. It's just a thing, right? Like,
did you tell that to me the other day?
No.
Okay. I heard several other people mention that recently. Yeah, it's specifically in the toast thing. Did you know about where does that come from to you?
The 90s, when some lady was like, I saw Mary.
Oh, that was an actual story? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I heard about it. I watched it in Glee, the TV show where he sees Jesus in toast and calls it Jesus Christ.
That's fun. Jesus Christ.
So they obviously got inspiration from that.
Yeah. It was like a lady or something in the 90s.
Okay.
Like, I see Jesus.
I heard like the Virgin Mary appearing in the mold on the side of a building in Florida.
That sounds like something that people would say in Florida.
Thousands of people went to visit. Probably so.
Yeah, the church has like pretty high criteria of what is considered miraculous and what's not.
They send like a team in. They're like, verify it.
This is one of those moments where they have a team in and they have a doctor that has to approve of things for it to actually be considered. They've had a doctor there since 1883 because it's like, everyone's claiming to have a miracle, but like for something to really be considered like a Catholic holy place,
it has to be verified.
Yeah, it has to be verified.
It has to meet a certain criteria.
Yeah, they have a duty to report these kind of things, right? So here's the criteria. Since the 1700s, it has to have a doctor approval. the ailment has to be severe. It can't be like a headache. It has to be like
nearsightedness.
or it can't be nearsightedness. It has to be something pretty like intense. It has to instantly go away. Not casually, instantly.
Not casually.
Not gonna,
What does that mean?
it has to, again, the cure has to happen instantly. The person is completely healed with no remaining side effects.
Wait, hold on. When I went to see the witch doctor about my wart on my finger, when I was
They freeze it off.
no, I went to see this guy in this trailer park. My grandma took me when I was like 13 or 14, and he rubbed the wart on my finger, and he said, "You just forget about this for a while, okay?" And I did, and it went away, and it was not instant. It took a while.
That could be considered like something miraculous, but not a miracle according to the Vatican.
Okay,
in the way that they would officially approve it.
Like, so the Vatican needs to like relax their like time frame a little bit.
No, let me explain that in a minute.
Things could not happen instantly.
No, for it to be miraculous, it has to happen instantly.
With the toast.
Yeah, it has to happen instantly.
Okay.
Yeah. The cure has to be lasting, and the sickness doesn't come back.
Okay.
It has to be over a decade old, because otherwise people will be like, oh, it happened and then like comes back. And no other explanation.
My bullet wound is not a decade old.
If there's any scientific explanations, it doesn't count. It can be like miraculous in its own way, but it's not approved. So thousands upon thousands of these have appeared at the church, and only 72 of them have been approved.
It's very few.
But the approval doesn't really matter. Like the thousands and thousands of people who are claiming they've been healed and leaving their crutches or whatever there. That's pretty miraculous.
There's a bunch of people leaving their crutches.
Yeah. So the one story,
like
for example,
Crutch City in here.
For example, in 2018, a 23-year-old with cancer, he had it in his leg, and it was kind of it literally eroded his bone. He didn't have a femur bone. His femur had split and cut.
It had disintegrated, sort of thing.
And he it was only connected by skin. He came to Lourdes and rested in the water. He got out. He dropped his crutch and said, "I'm healed."
Wow.
And then when they tested, the mass had completely disappeared, and he had a renewed femur bone.
That's wild.
But this isn't like an isolated story. You can read hundreds of these stories
of Lourdes,
thousands of Lourdes. I know a lady who would, but I also know a lady who took her daughter there multiple times, and her daughter wasn't healed. Like, I don't know what does it, but there are thousands upon thousands of people.
Accounts.
Accounts of people who
getting healed at this place. Yeah.
Every day there, it's like a Marian festival. Like every day it is like a celebration happening. People are spiritually minded. There's this candlelight reverence that happens at night, procession that people are part of. It's such like a beautiful, holy experience. People love it. And it has thousands upon thousands coming by train each day. But it doesn't happen to everyone. Like a lot of people some people are healed, some aren't. Some people just feel peace about their illness.
Right.
Some
They're
people
more at peace about what is happening to them.
Some people probably go there and are like, nothing happened and are sad. I don't know how that happens, but that's like.
But something is happening to some of the people that happen here, and it's not explainable.
Yeah, and it's currently happening. This is a fountain of youth that's happening currently.
That's awesome.
People are being renewed, restored, things like that.
Sort of like the Corpse Survivor.
The Corpse Survivor. And it's
we can go there now.
Yeah. We can go there now. Well, today we could go there. Well, probably tomorrow, because we probably couldn't get a flight.
No, like international dateline, things like that.
But tomorrow.
Yeah.
We could get there tomorrow.
It's not dried up. It's not in antiquity. It's not Herodotus giving us like the footnotes of it.
Thing happening today, happening now. And like it is pretty much pray for repentance of sinners and be healed. Like that's
Here we go.
Here we go.
That's cool though. I would like to see some.
Apparently,
I want to look up some stuff about this now.
Yeah. Because like it literally has chapels built on top of it. It's actually has like 3-story chapel, and it's I have a friend that went and he said it looked like Disney got its inspiration for its castle from it. Because it's older than Disney,
I've been to the castle that Disney got its inspiration from. It's called Neuschwanstein.
Oh, it's Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Wait, there's a poster of it out in the living room.
Oh, I should go look at it afterwards.
I think. Or it's either in Cassian's room.
Yeah.
No, it's in the living room.
I'll go look at it after.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Anyways, so it looks amazing. And on this episode of like Down to Earth, he went through the motions, but he was like, this place is like sacred. The way people hold it, the way it feels, the way people are actually healed. And he was like, maybe
the
it's
way
the
people
water.
behave.
Yeah, people behave.
Yeah.
And it's like, is it the water? Is it because it's holy? Is it the lady?
Think about the place we talked about earlier where it was like pandemonium in Jerusalem and that people were just like swarming it.
Yeah.
When the angels stirred it or whatever.
Yeah.
But like this, it sounds like there's more like order established around it.
Yeah.
And the healing is actually happening.
And what is also like there is like, we again have this association with virgin, which we got all the way from King Hezekiah, who got the virgin spring, right? And that kind of continues through is like this kind of attachment to the virgin. I don't know why, but Our Lady is associated with quite a few springs, but this is of course one of the biggest ones. And people thought she was crazy. She was digging in dirt, and then all of a sudden a spring appears.
Right.
And the spring has healing powers.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's happening today.
And you can go see it.
Yeah, you can go see it like today. Yeah, so like the like Fountain of Youth aspect of like, I mean, I don't know if Our Lady of Lourdes is a Fountain of Youth. It's miraculous. It is.
I wouldn't say like Fountain of Youth, but like it's a fountain
it's
for
a fountain
sure.
that heals.
It has a water aspect to it, which we see in a lot of these kind of stories.
And it does the healing aspect, right? Like it could probably clean or fix Ponce de Leon's
his punctured leg.
Yeah.
Like I could probably get something out of my eye because my eye always has something in it. I feel like,
but like people go there, and of course maybe the Vatican won't like be like, this is an official healing, because they have to be a little bit more like. I
almost feel like they can't say something like that.
Yeah. It's just like it has to be something big,
right?
But people, thousands upon thousands,
they can still go there.
Yeah, and they're being healed from whatever it is, whether it's a headache, nearsightedness, or
tuberculosis,
a hole in their leg, or like cancer.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And so it's kind of cool.
Gout.
Yeah.
Those things.
But
pulmonary embolism.
I don't know if it's quite the same as what we see in Jerusalem.
When we think about Fountain of Youth.
Yeah.
It's adjacent to it. I would put it under the same umbrella of Fountains of Youth.
Yeah, but not the
Have you seen the movie called The Fountain? Casey really likes it. I think it's her favorite movie, but it's got Hugh Jackman in it. And I guess it's like him having multiple lives or past lives. Yeah. And he like sees himself as like one of these like Ponce de Leon era crusaders in Mesoamerica, where there's like the jungle, but he also sees himself in like European sort of history or whatever. He conquistador in the Americas, but then like crusaders in Europe, and he's looking for this like Fountain of Youth thing because his wife is dying in present time, and he wants to be able to save her because he's a doctor. And like I'm spoiling the movie for you, but at the end he found the Fountain of Youth comes from the Tree of Life in the Garden of Eden.
Which I was wondering if there's some like touch of the same, because the fountain. There's rivers,
Tree of Life, the Garden of Eden, the River of Life. These are three things with very similar names and like very similar themes connected to them, but the overlap is unavoidable.
Yeah, of course,
because they all share the same principles.
The principles the same. Yeah. So I know you had a Crusader story, and we did move pretty quickly through different spaces, but there is I know I was expecting more. We had the Spear of Destiny rise so much in the Crusader times.
In a tangible way,
in a very tangible way. So I wondered if you found anything for the Fountain
of Youth that is kind of similar to that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're talking about like things that affect real things. Like we learn about Ponce de Leon not actually looking for the Fountain of Youth, and then we learn about this rumor. Like maybe rumor of Alexander the Great, which could be a fairy tale, which connects to the Islamic tradition and stuff like that. And then we have the parable that I talked about in China earlier. But as far as things that go that like affect real world history, I found one of something that I've never heard of before. Have you heard of this? He's an Eastern ruler of a Christian kingdom, and his name is Prester John.
He sounds like he sells pecans.
He does sound like he sells
Prester
pecans.
John and his pecans.
Prester John and his pecans, but he's very honest about his pecans. You know, like you would believe him when he came to you with the deal about the pecans.
Because, you know,
Prester John.
He fought off the snakes and he got you 50 pounds of pecans.
Exactly.
Yeah, I trust him.
Do snakes like pecans?
Yeah, well, they hang out there because rodents hang out there. Rodents like pecans.
Oh.
And the snakes like the rodents.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like the police hanging out near where alcoholics are driving home drunk.
Exactly like that.
Exactly. Okay, so I'd never heard the name Prester John before, even though it kind of felt familiar a little bit.
It feels familiar, but it feels like Old South. It does not feel old.
It feels like lack of details too. It's very vague and ambiguous.
Yeah.
Okay, so Prester John, I'm going to tell you a second about like where his origin story comes from, but he is this supposed king that lives on the other side of like the Muslim controlled territory of Eurasia.
Okay.
So you know how you have Europe and you have this like the Holy Roman Empire, the Roman Empire, the Christians, and then you have the Muslim part of it, which is like borders on like Turkey, Byzantium sort of thing, Iraq, Iran, those places. And then beyond that, if you're a person living in like the 800s, 1100s, like you don't know necessarily what is beyond the east that way. It could be anything. So they believe that there was a Christian kingdom that existed beyond the Muslim controlled part of Eurasia.
That is possible.
They didn't know about the Mongols and like the Chinese and stuff like that because of this letter called Prester John, the legend of Prester John that was cemented in this letter.
Okay.
And
Prester John just does not seem like a Far East name.
No, it comes from like apparently he was descended from one of the magi that visited Jesus when he was a baby.
Okay.
And that's where he built this utopia society that happens on the other side of the Muslim controlled territory where they have like a river of life that flows through the city. And it all comes from this letter that was supposedly received around the 12th century.
Yeah, of course.
And in this letter, it describes this land that exists, this kingdom, this Christian empire where there are 76 tributary kings who pay tribute to him in this empire.
Prester John.
Yeah, Prester John and his pecans. Exactly. And that this is just like the model society that should exist and where all the people live for a long time. And there's this river that flows through the middle of the country and it deposits gemstones and yeah, exactly. And people are getting rich off of this and it bestows eternal life and all of this that happens. And
they found where that dark place that Alexander went.
Right. This is exactly good point, Jesse. I like that a lot. And it was such an extravagant kingdom that in the letter he described that his city had walls that were so thick that 2 chariots could ride side by side on the top of the walls.
Wow.
So that's like
Attack on Titan.
a dozen feet probably at least. So those are some pretty thick walls that we're talking about. And
Great Wall of China.
Yeah, there were
they had the walls right. Those walls did
right.
exist.
There were 12 monasteries positioned along this lake for each of the 12 apostles because this was such a pious society. They had one monastery for each of the apostles. And when I was talking earlier, it was probably off air about Jesus's years that he lived, but were not recorded in the Bible.
Yeah.
One of the places that he supposedly like visited could have been like in the direction of where India is today. But we don't have a record of that. But what we do have in this legend is that this is where Thomas went.
Yeah. Thomas.
And,
I mean, churches actually still exist by St. Thomas now in South India.
That's cool.
When they reconnected with Catholicism, they're like, oh, hey, we're the same. And then they just reconnected and were part of the Catholic Church again.
They should reconnect. That's good. I'm glad they have reconnected. So St. Thomas went to this place in India. They say that like in Prester John's kingdom is where St. Thomas is buried. Mm-hmm. But once a year, they will have these possibility of like blessings from St. Thomas. Mm-hmm. And if you are like a certain like pious person or whatever, then St. Thomas's corpse will actually like do like the blessing thing on you. But if you're not, then he won't do that. And then they'll put him away and he'll come out the next year. But it's only one day a year on his like certain day.
For saint.
Yeah.
Groundhog blessing day.
He comes alive to do the blessing for the specific day.
Wow. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Prester John has like a nut society. I'm going to tell you about some things that happen in Prester John's world that are like, it comes from this podcast called the Human Circus Podcast. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do my best Dan Carlin impression and like read it to you right now.
Thank you.
Because it's going to sound pretty ridiculous.
Okay. I mean, I'm ready.
This is all a letter that spread across Europe
about
Prester John and his society. And it says, he wrote of the magnificence that dominated lands from the furthest reaches of India, where the bodies of the Apostle Thomas rested, to the slopes of the Babylonian desert, of the creatures and peoples that lived there, of elephants, dromedaries, camels, hippopotami, crocodiles, white and red lions, white donkeys, silent cicadas, megalithocaraani, camelothenteranus, and thensartiae. Of those last three seeming to be hybrid creatures of different kinds. And then there were white bears, white merlins, centaurs, cyclopses, griffins, wild men, horned men, fawns, satyrs, pygmies, dog-headed men, giants, and phoenixes. Wow. There were salamanders, creatures who lived in fire and produced silk. There were fish whose blood produced a purple dye. There was a place abundant with honey and milk, that we talked about earlier. A place without scorpion, snake, or noisy, and it would seem, venomous frogs. There is a river flowing from paradise that winds its way through, and in which are found natural gems of all kinds. There is a plant which grows there, whose root drives off unclean spirits. There is a woody land where pepper is grown, but it's overrun with serpents. When it is time to harvest it, the woods are burned, driving the snakes into their holes while the pepper is gathered. One more little bit.
Of course. This place sounds wonderful.
There is a spring that varies in taste by the hour of the day. If you drink of it after fasting for 3 days, you will never age, no matter how long you live. There are small gems sought by eagles to restore their sight that, if worn by a human on their ring, sharpen their vision. Properly prepared, it could also make them invisible, charm those around them, and banish envy.
This seems straight out of Dungeons and Dragons.
It sounds bizarre as dude.
Yeah,
it's so far out there. I feel like I'm having deja vu right now because I feel like we talked about this before.
Yeah, this feels like straight Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, exactly.
If you ever read the Dragonlance series, this seems as random and as wild as the first Dragonlance book. You're just like, oh my God, what's going on? And you're like, a unicorn. Oh, now there's gems.
Make them invisible. Yeah. Charm those around them and banish the envy. Like, what is that? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so this is like the
letter circulated.
Yeah, this letter circulated about this place, the Prester John. And there was a time in history where the one of the Crusades was happening. Mm-hmm. I think it was, don't quote me on this, but like maybe the 4th or 5th. Who knows? Right. Yeah. And it was in the years that were 4 digits, not 3 digits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
If that matters. But they thought that Prester John's army was going to come and like form this like pincer motion with like the East and the West and the Muslim in the middle. You know what I mean? We're going to like do that to them. We're going to crush them. Yeah. But Prester John's people were allegedly like not able to show up because the Tigris or the Euphrates River that they came up against was like swollen by the floods. Mm-hmm. And the floods caused it to be like so unruly that they couldn't pass across it. So they had to turn back and like go back home. So Prester John's people never showed up.
There's soldiers waiting for this.
Yeah.
This group of guys.
Yeah. And they're like,
Prester John.
We're going to come. He's going to come and like team up with us. And he's going to be like the elves in Two Towers that show up in Helm's Deep and they're going to fight with them. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. So they never showed up because they weren't real. There's all like a fake thing.
Or are you just saying they're not real?
I don't know
that.
I mean, I looked at pictures of the people from his, not pictures with a camera, but like pictures That kind of pictures, like we're drawing the pictures.
Don't you think we're like legends, libations? Benefit of doubt, right? They couldn't make it because the Euphrates were flooded.
I said centaurs and like dog-headed people and stuff like that. But have you ever seen a person with their face on their chest and no head?
Tattoos.
No, just like no head. It's like no-headed people, and like their eyes are like right here, and their nose is right here. And
I've seen some medieval art of that.
Okay, yeah, exactly. That was like in the Prester John thing. It was like people like that were showing up. You know,
that'd be pretty weird.
Yeah. So,
but let's give them the benefit of the doubt.
Legends, we never know about this place.
It's weird,
right? I heard somebody say.
Reminds me. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Just gonna say that I heard somebody say on like a podcast or something like, imagine you don't have a reference point for those type of people versus like there are aliens visiting from other planets that are like or there are other planets in general that have moons and have rings around them, and you know what I mean, like those things sound as foreign almost the same to you because you have no expertise or reference point for any of those things. People with dog-headed men in other countries, that could be a real thing, you know what I mean? And you're just like, yeah, that's normal, we got that.
It'd be pretty weird.
Yeah
geez. Prester John and his pecans, man.
Prester John had a lot of stuff going on. I have some more things about like how it cements it in reality. Mm-hmm. This person named Otto of Freising, he had a meeting with this person who was the bishop of Jabhala. His name was Hugh. And he had sent somebody who met like an envoy from somewhere for like Prester John or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
And this is like kind of how like the rumor got started in 1145. And I should have said this first, was like he was the one who told them that we're going to show up at this battle that they didn't show up at. And after the letter showed up, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like in the people who were expecting him to be at the battle, like it was very much of a real thing to them because they were
like, he's coming.
Yeah.
He's going to help us.
And foreign policy was like shaped around this from a lot of times, and they discovered new worlds. Like they discovered like India and then like China and stuff like that. And then they moved south into Africa and they discovered Ethiopia and Somalia area past Egypt we talked about earlier. Remember we talked about Herodotus and the Microbians who happened in the Ethiopia area. So as their understanding of the map increased and they went from like the east and they came back down to Africa, Ethiopia became one of the places where they thought Prester John might have happened. Yeah. So they sent guys there from Portugal to visit Ethiopia, thinking that this is Prester John's kingdom because they heard there was a Christian kingdom that could exist there, and they met these Ethiopian people, and they're like, "What up, Prester John?" And the Ethiopians were thinking like, Prester John, like, what is the Prester John? But yeah, that's us. Yeah, what's up? We're Prester John. Yeah, we're Prester John. And they like sent people back to Ethiopia saying, "We found Prester John in Ethiopia.
He's right here. He's right here."
They totally thought that was him because they were just like, "Yep, let's go with that.
Yep,
let's roll with it."
I mean, if I met foreign people and they were like, "You're this person," I'm like,
totally.
Right.
It's like when C-3PO is on Endor in Star Wars. You know what I mean? And they're like, "Oh, you're a god," and R2D2. You're like, "Yeah, we're just gonna go with that."
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, exactly.
I am Prester John.
Totally, Prester John. That's me.
What did I do?
Yep. But then they took their information back to Portugal or in Europe and stuff like that, and they were like, Prester John's army is like not very good. Like they're like fighting in loincloths and stuff like that. They don't even have like armor and swords.
I don't know if they can beat. I don't know if they could win.
I don't know if he's very good at all.
That's really funny.
It's pretty bad that they're like sending people to this place in Africa and be like, "This is Prester John from the legend."
Good luck.
They're not at all like we thought, but whatever.
I thought they were going to be in like mecha suits with like, but they're not.
They're doing worse than we are. Man, that's funny. So like the Prester John stuff like happened. You know how I talked earlier about how the Alexander the Great stuff was kind of like how Paul Bunyan was? It was like a mythological figure. Well, like Prester John was kind of that mythological figure as well. And like his place had all these fantastical beasts, and it had the Fountain of Youth, and it was just like absolutely everything. It was a great hope that people who were hopeless at the time in Europe could say, oh, well, there might be this guy from the East who's going to show up with this big Christian army and is going to save us from this like Muslim onslaught that we're having. We're going to have this, we're finally going to have like a victory sort of thing.
Yeah, but then they realize they're just going to fight it themselves.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Because, you know, like if the first crusade was successful, we wouldn't be having all these like second, third, fourth, fifth crusades, so...
Yeah,
we could have used some pressure John showing up, but he didn't show up ever.
He never showed up.
No.
He kept his fountain of youth to himself and hid under the dark grounds.
His is one of the ones that supposedly came from the Garden of Eden, like we talked about. And if there were 4 of them that came from there, like you could totally make a bunch of legends from that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you ever gone to like a place that was considered like some kind of like healing place? A healing.
I went to these
fountain.
I went to these like bath houses in Hungary.
Yeah,
and the water was like the color of like dirt and mud.
That doesn't sound great.
No, they were like these hot bath pools, and the water was really dark, but it was like really hot.
Did you feel healed afterwards, or
maybe?
What did you feel afterwards?
I don't know. I kind of felt weird because you can't see anything in the water. You can't even see yourself. Like as soon as you get in like this, it's like swimming in like chocolate syrup, but not the consistency.
That reminds me of that.
The color of chocolate syrup.
That reminds me of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, kind of like that. And it's like, this is strange, but I don't know. It's supposedly minerals and stuff. Who knows?
Yeah, minerals and stuff.
Yeah.
The water you should be drinking, the Alka-Seltzer water.
Probably tastes like Tums, dude. I'm telling you.
So I told you about that time in Scotland. I went into a river that was supposed to give me like eternal youth or youth of some sort.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to regularly bathe in that thing because I feel like I kept a youth for a little longer, but not that much longer.
That's pretty cool, though. It's like still...
It's in the middle of Scotland. It was really cool. I literally have a picture of somewhere. If I have it, I'll put it up. But otherwise,
I want to go.
Yeah, we should go. Legends and Libations in Scotland.
In Scotland,
getting eternal youth.
The Scottish accent's hard to do. We're gonna have to like have a guide or something.
I mean, you can talk to them.
You can talk to them, but you don't want to be like, I'm a tourist.
Yeah, I get that. Well,
they're gonna let us like, you have a kilt.
I have like 3.
Oh yeah, you wore one.
I wore one for one of our shows.
Yeah.
But I did end up making it to another one in Wales. So I walked a pilgrimage to St. David's. He's an old Welsh saint. He's like the patron saint of Wales.
Oh yeah.
And I was able to walk with someone very dear to me along the coast. It was
of Wales.
Yeah, of Wales. It was such a fantastic trip. It was.
You never hear about the Wales coast.
Yeah, exactly. I know it's weird, but like it was an incredible place. It felt like Skyrim. Like castles and ruins and cliff sides. It was just very beautiful. Well, on your way to St. David's, like literally right outside of the city, maybe a couple miles out of the city by the coast, there is a little chapel. It looks like it's just a little stone chapel. I think it's 20 feet by 12 feet.
That is really small.
Yeah. Smallest Catholic chapel in the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And there, well, I don't know if it's smallest in the world. Smallest that I know of. Could be the smallest in the world. Anyways.
That's way different.
I've heard it was one of the smallest in the world, but I don't know if it's actually smallest. It could be smaller. So it's called St. Non's. And there's a holy well there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And the smallest chapel.
Yeah. Well, outside of it. Yeah. It's like close to it. St. Non is the mother of St. David. Of course, again, this is the Pembroke Trail. If you take it along the coast, you'll see this chapel while you're walking along the coast.
Okay.
While you're passing by St. David's. St. Non was N-O-N, like non.
Oh, like non-bread.
Yeah. She was born around 475, and she was the daughter of a lord.
475. Damn.
Yeah, this is old story. Old story. This is one of the oldest sites of Christianity in that area.
The world.
Yeah, it's covered with both like old stones of churches that were built there before and standing stones from old like pagan worship. Cool. Yeah. Anyways, she was a nun, but she was raped by a prince.
Oh, just like our story earlier. Almost.
Yeah, St. Winfred. Yeah, exactly. But she actually was raped, and she gave birth to a boy. And she named him David. Upon his birth, there was a huge thunderstorm, and from the spot he was born sprung a spring.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and this is where the well of Saint. This is the well of Saint Non, right?
Well,
This
Saint
is-
Non.
Yeah. So in this well, people definitely when it comes to blindness are healed.
Particularly
Yeah,
healed.
particularly.
Okay, wow.
I was able to grab water from it. I was able to drink from it. This is one of those places where they tried closing down after the Reformation.
Of course.
It didn't work.
Never
of
does.
course. Even in the poorest time of Wales, people would leave like pins and pebbles and little stones there just as like an offering because they didn't have any money.
Mm-hmm.
This is a picture of it. The chapel.
Nice place.
Yeah, the well is it's small. It's like you just duck down and get in it.
Yeah.
But
you just duck down.
Yeah. It was cool. It was like cool that it was still there. It's still functioning. People still go there. It's now a small retreat house. It's actually Catholic again. The chapel is a small Catholic chapel. It has all the old Welsh saints, like the big Welsh saints, Saint Non, Saint David, people, Saint Winfred, people like that.
Winfred.
And you can
shout out.
Yeah, shout out Winfred.
Earlier in the episode.
You can drink from the well or grab the water. You're welcome to.
That's pretty cool.
It's very quiet. It's not like Our Lady of Lourdes where thousands of people go there. I think I was the only person that visited that day. Well, we were the only people.
There you go.
It's small. But
it's just chill.
Yeah, it has some of the oldest like Christian symbols. It has early crosses, but it also is was a place of worship even for the early pagans there before Christianity.
That's impressive.
That was my little experience of going to a holy
that's
well.
awesome, dude.
It was cool.
It sounds really impactful.
It was after a week of walking. I had walked over 100 kilometers. It was fantastic.
Oh, wow, dude.
And then getting there, it was just yeah, this is cool.
Sounds like you walked a long time.
I did. It was awesome.
I'm glad
I did again.
I would like to go do that. That sounds cool.
Yeah, we should. Legends Libations on site.
Yes, let's go.
So, this legend was kind of hard to follow.
It was really all over the place, and there was nothing that was I'm going to take the lead story besides Ponce de Leon, and his was fake.
So, if we're going to rate, first, let's go ahead and rate the legend of the Fountain of Youth.
Dude, I'm going to give it a 6. It was not my favorite at all to look up.
I would totally give it, if we're thinking of just the Fountain of Youth, I'd give it a 4.
Okay, let's
because
halfway on, give it a 5.
Because it doesn't go anywhere. No, and there's nothing substantial to follow.
It's the worst when it comes to that. If you count it among things like we talked about earlier, you talk about the Sorcerer's Stone, and what was the other thing, El Dorado, that were kind of like this. Both of those had way more concrete stories than this did.
There was adventure to follow. There was cool people that were involved.
People who dedicated their lives to doing it, and they were I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm dedicating my life to it or whatever. There was nobody like that in this. It was all a side note or a footnote in something.
Yeah, and so it doesn't give the same story. I just don't think it was super impressive. Now, when I think of fountains that have healing power,
there's a lot of those. That's cool that we learned about that.
Yeah, it's cool, but they are not technically the Fountain of Youth.
No.
They're fountains that bring healing and youthfulness, and I like those. Those were good stories. But they're
a variety of the topic that we learned about, but not the core thing that we were searching for.
We literally had to add those in because there was no Fountain of Youth, really.
Exactly.
So the Fountain of Youth itself, I just don't think was very
compelling.
Nothing
substantial.
Really true. But the fountains that we found were cool.
There was a lot of
real life.
There's a few good stories about it.
Yeah.
Once we broadened the topic, you could bring in some things that had some good moral points and some exciting history and things that happen now as well. It spread the whole range of things that we like to talk about, but it was only because
we expanded. We decided to say, hey, we're not restricting ourselves because this story is not good enough.
Yeah, and that's how I felt the whole time while we were researching it. I wasn't very motivated to want to do a lot of research on it because I was not finding things that were interesting at all.
Yeah. It's just kind of
not interesting, but
but not the Fountain of Youth. It never led to a adventure to the Fountain of Youth.
Like how you have El Dorado, who people who had very similar names, they were we're gonna dedicate our whole life and the whole life of 2,000 other people that we command to this. there was none of that. That was
we're gonna die in the jungle for this.
Yes, exactly. Willingly.
on the other hand. So we're going to give that a 5.
The drink was like one of the best drinks, dude.
Yeah, so this is...
Yeah, but I knew that's what you were going to say.
Yeah, this is definitely a drink. Yeah, so the drink is, again, called the Corpse Revival.
Corpse Revival.
And it's a complicated drink, but you would, what would you give it?
Put the recipe up, dude. This was like, I give it a 9.
9? Yeah, I would easily give this a 9. This is a great one.
Yeah.
It's very refreshing. It's tricky though, because you do not feel like you just drank as much as you just did.
No, I'm gonna stand up and then I'm gonna fall right down. Probably.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, so make yourself a
corpse revival.
Corpse revival, and
show us up, dude.
Yeah,
like
it's gonna tell.
Once you drink about 5 of them,
put pictures in the. Put the pictures in the comments.
And let us know. Yeah, and tag us. We would like to have that.
Yeah.
We want to interact with you guys. We want to
be part of your lives.
And we want you to see the merch that we've got. Yeah. If you want a koozie or if you want a hat or shirt.
Yeah. We'll give you a shout out. You make the drink, have part of our merch. We'll give you a shout out here.
Exactly.
Okay.
We'll see you next time. This is Legends and Libations. I'm Matthew.
And I'm Jesse.
We'll see you next time.
And we're so
sipping through history.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're sipping through history.
Sipping through history. Boom, boom, boom.